Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the stream. How are you doing? Welcome in. Very cool. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. It's probably Saturday for you all, but welcome into the first ever Jean Faymas Sunday morning stream. Good morning. Hello. Welcome in. I'm tasting my coffee. I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed here with you all today. First ever. Wow, wow, wow. Hi. Rise and shine, Jean Faymas. Rise and shine. First one, we're going to see. This is going to be a little test, if you will, of a kind of little new Jets stream series. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. I've done that thing where I've not got too many fancy. I think ideally it could be amazing to have a bunch of fancy assets for this if it goes well. If this is a thing I like doing and this is a thing that you guys enjoy hanging out for in the mornings, then we could make it even more fancy going forward. But for now, it's a little bit of a scuff thrown together setup, and thank you all for being here today. I enjoy the cozy. Yes, so I am going to resist all the urges to be extra bingusy this morning and just be very cozy, and we're going to hang out and keep my voice very quiet because it's an early morning, it's the weekend, I've got neighbors, and just kind of chat about things and everything. And anything and everything is kind of the idea with these streams. We're just going to talk, catch up, see what everyone's been up to. I did jokingly say that the theme for today's Jetscast, brought to you by Jean Faymas, sponsored by Manscaped. No, imagine. Is what did I say in Discord? The theme was, oh god, I've already forgotten. You can tell that she's waking up. I've already had a half cup of coffee and sipped my coffee with you all today. I jokingly said that the theme for today is projects, plannings, and putting things into action. Don't trust the visuals, jetpack. This table is barely off the ground and she used to stand and look like this. This is actually, technically, I don't want to zoom out because I have the camera angle so perfectly. But technically, I am hovering a little bit. It's like I'm sitting cross-legged here. Live jets for studies, work, and chill. That is the idea. It is idea. I love the stream setup. Oh my god, podcast core. Yeah. That's what we're doing today. So I'm gonna try and bring my energy back down. Finally, we can get our Jets Mower 4.0. Yes, I'm levitating. I meditated 3 times and now I have the power of levitation. It's true. You can do that. That's how it works, right, guys? That's how Sorry, just sipping my coffee. Sipping on my coffee. And waking up. You're so much prettier than the last time I saw you. I think it's just the lighting, bro. I think it's just the lighting. So, yeah, I'm not used to this. It's weird. When put in a position to actually talk about things and not put in a position where I'm meant to start a game, it's almost like my mind goes blank. I think for most kinds of podcasts, they tend to have multiple people, so there's things where you riff off each other. But Jetpack, will you guys do me the honor of being my co-hosts? I'll just riff off of the bands in the chat and we'll work out where this conversation goes. You're stuck in the 4 category? How much strike that might be on your end. On my end, I'm just chatting. We just chatting. She's throat punching herself to drink coffee. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with 3D tracking being broken. So what's the deal with airplane food? How did 2 of you make the what's the deal with airplane food joke? Jetpack, please! Let's go. Sorry, most coffee. Would guests be considered if this goes further? That's a great question, actually. I like that. Let's start off with chatting and questions about things and ideas for the stream future. Today really is, if you want to ask me questions about the stream future and plans and projects that are going on, today is the day and the kind of streams going forward where I want to be able to sit down and talk about them and actually give you guys updates about things. And then if you're wondering what's going on, you can always come back and check out these VODs and just kind of cue into the project plans for the stream. Are you guys all kiss packing because you're sharing one brain cell in which you all make the same airplane food joke? God damn it. But yeah, guests in the future is not something that I have thought about. Not that that's something I thought about. At the moment, I think with this idea, what's going on here, it's a trial run. If this flows well, if you guys like it, if you guys enjoy having them as VODs, if I enjoy doing them, and we do more of them, then I guess we can think of ideas about maybe having guests on in the future. It would be a bit weird because it would be one of those things where I'm waking up very early right now, and it's like 7:30 in the morning to me, starting up really early, just sipping my coffee, and chatting with you all. So I wouldn't know if there are people around. I guess Americans, if I had any like American fellow streamers, would probably be perfect for them to jump online. Europeans even. Person who would screw over is most of a Cheyenne. Well, Hanya wakes up early, but I'm sure she's got busier things to do on the weekend. Prepping for guests early would be a pain. Exactly. At the moment, let's just say, no plans for guests at the moment. However, I'm not gonna write that off entirely, because I feel like if this does become a unintentional, maybe intentional Jets cast, it would be kind of cool to have people on the Jets cast. Have I started a podcast by accident? I set up the vibe to be like this because it felt appropriate for the themes, and you guys know me. I love a theme. I love an atmosphere. So I've kind of accidentally stumbled into a podcast feeling vibe right now. Technically, it's just a visual though. Yeah, this is not streaming on all the places you can listen to podcasts. This is streaming directly to you on twitch.tv. Welcome to the Jetscast. It's the mic for me. Yes, the free asset I pulled off the Roldo asset store. I am an expensive lady who never uses free assets. Everything's custom. Wait a second, how can this be a podcast? It's not three white guys. Who says I'm not three white guys in a Jean Faymas trench coat? Come on now. This is the GFE, the Jean Faymas experience jetpack. Pull that clip up. It is 8:13 here in the sunny beaches of Australia, and you are listening to Jets AM. And then I play Slow Dive. She could be. Contain on the sip here. Yeah, I'm just wearing 3 pairs of white jeans. I need a 3rd pair for my extra leg. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to be goofy. Sorry, this is meant to be comfortable. This is meant to be very comfortable. I apologize. I apologize. So, today is I guess reflecting on the week, further reflecting on the move, and kind of talking about ideas for projects. I will say, in regards to the Sunday mornings with Jets chats in the future, I hadn't currently planned to add, I guess, guests to the stream in any capacity. You know, co-hosts, we invite people on, I talk to them about stuff. Although, this would be a great space to do that in regards to, I've always wanted to have a space to interview fellow creatives about their creative process. You know me, boys. I freaking love the creative process. So this could end up segueing well into that kind of format if it works really well. Duncan co-host. Duncan is featured in the other corner of the room. It could be nice to maybe have Duncan on this table for the podcast scene, the Jetscast scene. However, something I have thought about, because I hadn't thought about any kind of guests or co-hosts, something I have thought about is in regards to joking about you guys being the co-hosts, I would love to, and it's on my to-do list for today after we finish our chats for this morning, I would love to put together a Google form for the Sunday morning streams, in which it's an open form for people in the Discord to submit creative questions, queries, concerns, anecdotes, or experiences. I don't know if I'm gonna like pop it up each week to be themed or anything like that, but it's more like a call-in, like, hi Jets, I'm working on this project and I got this question about this thing, and I can be like, oh, I'm not qualified to give my opinion, but as a white guy with a microphone, I'm gonna tell you how to live your life. But it can be like maybe you're working through a challenge, and instead of me telling you what to do, it will open up a conversation for us on stream to all share our perspective and ideas about it. And maybe in talking about being prompted by these questions, we can open up discussions about like how different people work through ideas, and it'll be really, really fun. I think this is a good place to put it, because often people will stop by stream and ask me like, oh, how do you get into streaming? What's your tips for doing 3D? Or I've got this project I can't get started on, and I'm in the middle of fucking fighting a boss in Dark Souls 3, and I'm like, great fucking question, buddy. But I'm in the middle of something right now. But I do actually really want to have a space to talk about and answer those questions, and this is what this is going to be. So then people, if they have questions, they can think about them and more, and then ask them in the forum. So I will be setting that up hopefully today at some point, and it will go live before the next Sunday morning with Jet streams, but will be happening next week. And I do want to mention, boys. I find it very fucking hilarious. You guys never fail to make me giggle. It is so funny seeing you guys come in being like, a Sunday stream? What are you doing streaming on a Sunday, Jean Faymas? I take the time to put out the schedule. None of you bitch ass read that schedule, I swear. You were the same bastards. You'd be like, oh, I can't believe Jean Faymas didn't put the schedule out right now. Oh my god, so unprepared, so unorganized. Fucking Jean Faymas fell off. She didn't put the schedule out. Also, wait, you're streaming today? It's not like there's a schedule I could have read. Streaming on our Lord's Day. Yeah, but hey, I'm gonna try not to swear as much today. I probably already messed that up entirely. I should probably try not to swear like a sailor on the Sunday morning streams. It seems just a little wrong. It doesn't seem right. You didn't have to put the with the times and schedules. Thank you, Brian. It's all good. There's no schedule, only the schedule. Jets, can we have a quick jetpack drawing tutorial right in the second in this moment? Probably not today, but I guess we could do a jetpack tutorial in the future. I think the jetpack is a design where it is already pretty easy to draw. It's not like he's too overcomplicated. In fact, it was part of the intention when putting together the jetpack, was just kind of making him be an amalgamous blob with eyes and a little smile, so then anyone could draw it. Like subconsciously or consciously, when creating the jetpack, I think I totally went into it with being like, I want this to be, you say I can only draw a stick man, but you could still draw a jetpack, you know? I wanted it to be that he's like at every little creature, so you don't look at it and feel intimidated by him. You go, oh, that's just a little dude, and I can sketch him out. I can create my own little version of it. That's kind of what I was like in the back of my mind. Even if I wasn't being like fully game planning that, I think that was just kind of instinctively where I wanted to go for it. Fear him. Step 1, draw, but step 2, admire. Exactly. It's simple, which makes it so difficult. All the perfections stand out immediately. That can also be a good point, Semare, where it goes to being so simple that you need all the things. However, it's one of those things also where it's like, if it's purple and has headphones and little nub ears and a little squiggly mouth, it can also, anything can be a jetpack. You could turn this microphone into a jetpack by putting little headphone ears on it and a little like nubs and making it purple. It's like, what if this microphone was a jetpack? What if this coffee cup was a jetpack? Because you just need the key little elements. So it's a double-edged sword, I guess. Chowder's jetpack cannon. We did have that meme edit made by, I think it was Garfield Fugashi, made that really cool like quadrant of, does it qualify as a jetpack? So it was only for 15 minutes, but I'm not feeling well. No, swept on. No, don't even need to say or apologize. Take care of yourself. I'm happy I was able to stay here because you usually stream at 2 p.m. Polish time. So that's another thing about the Jets morning streams. This is a time zone's hopefully really good for a lot of people who don't normally get to grab the streams. We do have a bunch of pretzel packs, but they're not always able to stop by unless I stream for 12 hours. anime weeb. Hello, what a name. Welcome into the anime weeb zone. I'm also a bit of an anime weeb myself. The tutorial would need to be how to turn anything into a jetpack. We could. The Stanley Parable. Is this a bucket but with jetpacks? Yeah, it's like a really good little quadrant meme. It's quite probably stuck in the meme channel from last year at this point. You'd have to scroll all the way back to find it, but it is there. It's just past midnight here. Well, I hope you guys have had a lovely day. Hope your day's been treating you well and you're wrapping in. You're tucking in for the evening. Nice night, lads. I'll listen on mobile. Catch you later, Van Hockerton. I made a clay jetpack over a year ago. I don't know if it was the first IRL jetpack. I think it might have been Digital Brother now that you point it out. Now that you point it out, it might have been. Is this a jetpack? Oh, Gengar is totally jetpack's like older evil cousin that makes the jetpack smoke cigarettes and buy nudie magazines. 1000%. Gengar is like the whole, hey twerp, you think you're cool? I'll show you how to be cool. And you're like, yeah, cool older cousin Gengar. That's the kind of vibe. Either older cousin or like older uncle. Yeah. Slap headphones and some butt cheeks on a Gengar. That's a jetpack. Cousin Gengar will buy us beer. Exactly. That's what I feel like would be entirely accurate. A cool cousin. Today I learned I'm the Gengar pack. I guess that is one of the charming things, is because it's a kind of universal point, that universal little creature. There's been multiple points where jetpacks have posted in the Discord, hey, I saw this character on the show, this thing, and it looks like a jetpack, and it always makes me happy. Hi Jean, hi CD Boy Awesome. Should I say good morning to everybody? I'm not sure if we're going to do the hello good mornings in the Jetcast. Maybe not for Jetscast clip streams, but hello and welcome in, and thank you for listening today, and thank you for stopping by for the chats. I feel like we should be getting into talking about things because I don't know how long this stream's going to be. At the moment, I'm game planning anywhere between 2 hours to 4 hours and no longer. I guess this opens up a good question to you all in the chat. I'm not a podcast watcher, or even kind of a Jetscast watcher or a short form conversational watcher. They don't tend to be too long, right? They don't tend to be too long. What's a length of a kind of little call-in cast stream that you guys would like? Usually 2 to 3 hours. That's what I was kind of imagining. 2 to 3 hours. Don't say 8 hours just because you want another 8-hour stream. 1.5 to 3 hours? Yeah, I think that tends to be the case, right? Average podcast is 1 to 1:30. Wait, actual podcasts are normally only an hour and a half. Well, we know for a fact that that's not going to happen here in this stream because it's going to take me at least an hour just to get into the point I was making. I guess it depends on how it feels. Yeah, I think in general we'll go anywhere between maybe an hour and a half to 4 hours maximum. I'd say between 3 to 7 work days. See, you guys just want me to stream all day. You guys want me to stream all day and all night. Because 2 hours of Yap's done a regular stream. I guess the difference would be here is it's kind of, hopefully, ideally, it would be going forward. And the better I get at this, and the more I kind of understand the flow state of what this is going to look like, is it'll be a more focused conversation, less scattered. I'll try and make it less me jumping from point to point, getting confused constantly, and more like we have a focus and some things we want to talk to and talk about, and questions we want to respond to. But I won't keep it too rigid, otherwise I think it will ruin some of the spontaneity and fun of the whole thing. 24/7 Jets in the telly, 24/7 Jets radio, actual jet set radio. Yeah, I've always liked the concept of a pirate radio station. When I was in high school, the one kid, the long haired, like dorky ginger dude who was like the one kid who I was like, I think we're friends, but it might just be because everybody else sucks and bullies us, and so we sit next to each other in history class, and you're kind of weird and I'm kind of weird, so let's share music. That kid, I remember for a period we jokingly said we were going to make a pirate radio station. Never happened. Dreamcast game mention? I don't think, have I ever played a game that was released on the Dreamcast? I don't think I have. Internet radio isn't all that hard to set up. I wonder if this does go well, maybe it would end up on streaming. If this does end up on streaming, I probably have to improve my audio quality. Jets FM. Gotta drop a sponsor ad every 10 minutes. Imagine that. Imagine, boys, imagine if I keep doing this and we get Jet's Sunday Morning Cast has a sponsor. What? Like, imagine we keep doing this and we can be like, hi, this morning's Jet's Sunday Morning Cast is brought to you by, and there's actually a person, like, or a brand that sponsors this and allows, and like, Hobby Link Japan, imagine that. Hi, the Jet's Sunday Morning Chats are brought to you by Hobby Link Japan, which means they allow me to just talk to you guys about random bullshit. What? I would have to pinch myself. I'd have to pinch myself because it'd feel like I've like become a professional, you know? That feels very professional, so I'm just pouring out more of my coffee. This stream is sponsored by Big Tiramisu. Sponsored by Bandai Namco. Oh, Bandai Namco, please sponsor me. I love working with you, Bandai Namco. Please, please. I'm a Bandai Nam ho. We've been over this. Sponsored by Big Mug. I am drinking my coffee out of a big mug right now. Today I started my morning with Factor. I ate their food. If this turns into a physical podcast, which it could, let's not jump the gun too early, boys. This is the first ever test stream. There's a chance that no one likes this, and we give up on this project after 1 week. But I don't feel like that's gonna be the case because I'm already enjoying this quite a bit. This is really cozy. Soyberg, thank you so much for the freaking 500 bits. 2.5 is likely the sweet pot. Gives time for scattered yap, then focused topics. Plus, not too long to endure for the inevitable hungover Jets cast. Yeah, no, that's the inevitable hungover Jets cast. Sorry, I didn't pick up on the final one. That will be funny. That would be funny because you guys know me. I would feel like I'd have to be here. If we get an inevitably hungover Sunday morning Jets cast, that will be very, very, very good. Ooh, yeah. Let's try to focus for that. Let's keep it contained. I did stream a lot this week. We streamed basically almost every day. I was live every day, and I did almost upwards of 6 to 8 hours each day. So let's actually try and keep 2.5 hours. It's gonna be hard. For me to want to stop stream at that point, but I think it will be nice to know that this has a little containment. It's like it's being contained into a little containment unit. We appreciate all the streams, and it's probably good to have a forced period that is shorter, because not everybody, including myself, can get through 8 hours of Jets VODs. And talking about 8 hours of Jets VODs, I guess this segues into more so. Also, I think I forgot to thank someone who subscribed this morning. I just realized that while you guys are sending through big supports and bits, I want to say thank you to Snorzer, who subscribed in the loading screen for 3 months of support. Snorzer, thank you for supporting the stream, dude. Actually, but that gives me a nice little segue. Before I segue into other nonsense, I wanted to give you guys your flowers. Take them. I wanted to give you guys your flowers. I wanted to say this is the last stream of my first week back, and it's been lovely. It's been so lovely to be back. CD Boy, awesome. Hey, dude. Thank you for choosing to support the stream. Thank you for being a sponsor of the Jetscast. No, thank you. Please enjoy your emotes. Your ad-free Jetscast. Now, I wanted to give you guys your flowers. I wanted to take a second to actually say thank you for coming back. Thank you for stopping by the stream this week, making it such an amazing week back. When I was talking to my mum on the phone the other day, I said, Mum, I almost got emotional in the first stream and cried. And she's like, oh, sweet, that's okay. I was like, okay, there was this moment. And I was saying to her, now I'm going to say it to you guys, so you have to hear me out as I say this. Well, there was this moment, Mum, and I was in the loading screen, and all this support was coming through, and it was so overwhelming. And you know it's not true, but there's that thought in the back of your head of like, oh, I completely understand if people forget or don't care about what I do when I take time off. That's completely valid. But it was just this tiny twinge in the back of my mind. I was like, these fuckers care about what I do. I'm so lucky. So thank you for showing up and showing support, and I hope I've been able to show up this week for all you guys. And if it might be biased, but I've had some really there's been some really amazing fun moments this week on stream, and I've felt so blessed to be back every single day. So I can't wait to do more next week. However, keeping this in mind, I did go hard this week. We did go hard this week, boys, in regards to long streams and non-stop streams. And I will admit, last night I was up later than I thought I was going to be, because what's been happening inevitably is I've been doing these really long streams, getting right off stream, demolishing my meal prep dinner, trying to take a few seconds to relax, work out, shower, clean things around my facility. And then I got a bunch of messages in the group chats about projects, concepts, design stuff, and stayed up way later than I needed to working on concept art, and then got to bed so late, and I was like, oh, I gotta even be awake early enough for the Jetscast stream, because it turns out that if you stream most hours of the day, you don't have as much time in the evenings. And I began to realize this is why I get into bad routines of sleep schedules, because I spend all day on stream, and then I end up just so busy in the afternoons and don't get enough done in the evenings. So what I'm trying to say with this is next week's schedule will still be full, still be packed for the most part, but there'll be a day here and a little bit of time there off, to allow me more space to actually start working on projects. It's not even disconnect in some way. It's more like taking those stream days off so I can actually finally sit down, and because this week I didn't get into any of my stream projects fully. I did a little bit of planning here and there for ideas, but I didn't knuckle down, and I didn't have any 4 hours to do concept art, because that's unfortunately the case. I will say, unfortunately, there's this kind of thing where when you're doing concept art, character design, character rendering, any kind of digital art, I don't know about other people who work on digital art, but for me at least, I need almost a dedicated day for it. I need this is my work day. This is my work day for digital art, because I need to wake up, have my coffee, get my breakfast, and I'm actually sitting down and I'm clocking in to work on an art project. I can't kind of do 2 lines of an artwork after a full day of stream and put it down. You know what I mean? That's not a way where I can work for this project. And I do need to have at least a day or some time to be able to sit down and do concept arts, because I got clients who've come through who've wanted me to do outfit upgrades and stuff. Oh, thank you so much for the scam train this morning. Also, hello everybody, welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm seeing everyone saying hi in the chat. Takes a while to switch gears, in the same way of I wake up, breakfast, sit down, stream. I need wake up, breakfast, sit down, need to work on a full concept reference art sheet for a client. I need to have that day to do other work, which does mean having to take 1 full day or 2 full days here and there off stream. So it's gonna be about finding that balance, because that's the hard thing, because it feels like when you're a streamer sometimes, and this is probably reflected because of a lot of culture in streaming space, and I guess the VTuber space, of the subathon, the non-stop active online Andy, all that kind of stuff. And I probably am the same in the regards of I have the problem where I just want to be live and hanging out, because I'll admit with you all, I love working on projects and making things, but the slog of having to sit down and do a concept art for a character, I love the final product. I love putting my headphones and listening to music, but actually drawing for concept art is tedious and exhausting for me in a way that's not the same as streaming. You know what I mean? If I could just stream every day, I would, because it's just flow state fun with all you guys, right? Whereas working on art and projects for myself, you know, I need to do the concept art for the bunny outfit. That is more so, it's more so like, okay, designing the bunny outfit, fuck yeah. Actually, getting the final concept done, incredible. Creating that, all those things are fun. Having to actually sit there and draw the lines and shade it in and all that is like, it's the actual slug, the tedium, you know what I mean? You know? The creative process can be a pain at the start. It can be pain through so many points of it. So it's one of those things where, you know, I want to do those and I enjoy doing those, but I need to give myself that day to actually like kick myself in the butt and actually do the hard work when it comes to digital art, which is drawing that shit out, man. It's not hard, but you know what I mean? Hard in the regards of, if everyone's different, I'm sure there's people out there who really, really, I mean, I do like that part of the process. It's just genuinely, it just takes energy, you know? It takes energy from you. It's that last 20% that's the most hard. It is. Doing creative work can be mentally fatiguing. I think the broader observation there is doing any work can be mentally fatiguing, and it's in different kind of ways, no matter what, across the board. For me, it's starting something that's hard. Once I can get going and afterwards I'm like, that was great, I should do more of that more. That's also a thing. Getting started can be a big jump for people. I think let me think about that one for a second. Let me ponder that concept here for a second. Am I the kind of person where starting projects is hard for me? I think I'm not, but the reason why, let me take a sip of my coffee, is because I'm an obsessive planner. I think that's what it is. And so for me, by the time I actually am at the starting point of a project, I've had it so clearly planned out that I kind of know exactly where I'm going with it. So actually starting something isn't difficult. If anything, it's not finishing it, it's knowing when to finish a project that's almost impossible for me. I have always had that problem. That was a massive problem when I was a painter and still is. The thing about painting, and I remember learning this in like art school, is you get taught, because no painting's ever finished. You just choose to stop. And that's the same thing with all projects for the most part. The thing I hate most was when I'm doing concept art, something looks off and I can't figure out what's wrong, and I'll spend hours trying to find it out just to give up in the end and continue the process. That's a thing as well. It's also another thing when it comes to creative stuff, design, drawing, painting, illustrating, is losing something, right? You have the sketch, and then you have the concept, and then you start getting in and you're adding the details, you're adding the finessing, and you've lost something in it. You've overworked it, and you need to try and work out at what point did you lose the thing. And also, there's something to be said about the idea of the creative process and why it sometimes takes so long to do projects, which is different from streaming, right? Go live, hit live, we hang out, we play Voice of the Void for 8 hours, we make jokes that work well, jokes that completely fall on their face, and it's great. When you're working on a project, be it a painting, a concept art, maybe you're editing something, maybe you're anything you're working on Gunpla, who knows, there will inevitably be this point where you actually, there's part of the job is stepping away. Like, is having to occupy time, which forces you away from it, and not necessarily. Sometimes it can be like forcing yourself away from it in regards to, like, you know, for me getting on stream. But sometimes you don't even want to be doing stream. You need to like go into a different space. You need to be like halfway through a project. You wake up, you go like 9 a.m. whatever, working on it, and you go, this isn't working for me. You have to walk away, maybe clean, maybe go get a coffee somewhere. And like that seems silly to say is like necessary time sink, because if you actually sit at that for longer, you mess it up. Like, it's essential to have to give space. Otherwise you can overthink it, you can spiral, then you maybe think, oh fuck, I've re-looked at this thing 1,000 times and it's actually the worst, and then you abandon the project. And that in itself it's a whole other struggle. Not art, but engineering, the hardest part for me in any project is the rapid prototyping phase. Never enough time, and then getting really nitpicking. I have been nothing falls apart at points. I think this is, hopefully what I'm saying applies broader outside of like creative projects. I think it can apply to art, to engineering and study, or most workplaces. Like if you spend too much time, like I need to get this done, you force yourself on it, it can end up being a self-eating Ouroboros in some way. And so sometimes the reason why things take time is you need that time to also get away, which is frustrating. It's a frustrating part of the process because you want to work on it, but sometimes working on it, and this is fucked up and it almost sounds like I'm having a Jets quote Andy moment right here. But sometimes working on a project, the best thing you can do is not work on the project. And in some way you're doing the project a service. You know, does that make sense? I think that makes sense. My fellow burnout king, I had to learn the hard way. Yeah. That's what I was thinking this morning when I started up the stream and I was getting ready, making my coffee and my breakfast. How much fun I had this week hanging out with you all, but also how last night I was up late working on concept art for someone and then couldn't sleep, and then I was up at 5 a.m. because I was thinking about stream stuff, and I was like, these are the early onset kind of brain spirals that happen when you maybe have a few too many moving parts. And you know, we gotta look for that balance, boys. We gotta look for that balance of being able to have lots of good streams, but good streams. And I don't think a lot of streams, you know, instantly mean good streams. So we're gonna try and find out this schedule as we keep moving forward, what is going to be ideal. And I think hopefully the Sunday morning streams will fit into that, because it allows to have that extra stream during the week, but it's shorter, it's comfier, and it's a good decompress that feels like we can all hopefully appreciate and benefit from. When you're not focusing on stuff, your brain is still doing things in the background. That's why shower thoughts happen. Yeah, exactly. When you're not explicitly focusing on the project, you're still thinking about it. And so you're actually still working on it, even if it's all up inside your head. Just because your arms and your limbs aren't physically working on it doesn't mean your brain's not working on the project, you know? Learning how to get on a horse is important to get the ride started. Learning how to get off the horse prevents rashes and breaking your nose on the way down. Exactly. Hi, Jets. I haven't seen you since last year. I hope you're doing all right. I'm doing really well. How are you doing, Sir Kittiums? See now, Jets? Well, definitely not. I don't think I'm well. I don't think I'm senile just yet. Give me a few more years, boys. Okay, give me at least 7 years, right? Come on. When you're allowed to start calling me a hag, I'll let you start calling me a hag, okay? Good morning. Meridom, VTuber. Hi, welcome in. Checking in from the bottom of the ocean. Going with the motion of the ocean. Welcome in, Raiders. Hi. What'd you guys get up today? Welcome into the Jets Sunday morning cast. We are here talking about the creative process because I took a month-long break away from stream and I've been getting back into the routine of streaming, and we're kind of just talking about taking breaks, the anxieties. We'll get into that actually in a little bit. The anxieties I went through in my brain about taking a break on stream and getting back into it and how it's been. We played Tear Down, the Arabian Shadow Legacy. I've never even heard of that, but that sounds incredible. Thank you so much for the raid. If you do have to head off, take care of yourself. No pressure to hang around. We are taking it really, really comfy. Comfy? Yeah, I'm just go with it. We're taking it really comfy today. It's going to be really nice and easy. So if you want somewhere to hang out, have a coffee, you can. Otherwise, it's nice to meet you. Have a good one. you're either a hag or a V-team. My brain is too small for anything else. Well, then I'm sorry, I'm gonna break your brain, Matthew. But there's this thing that exists between teenager and hag, and it's a fucked up time in your life, honestly. But it's called your 20s, and you've got no idea what you're doing. But apparently, everyone's telling you you're meant to be working your shit out, and you're like, oh, okay, great. And you have this weird thing where it's 2025, and all the societal expectations that have been developed culturally throughout the last 100+ years no longer exist. The mediated average of expectation has gone out the fucking window because you live in a contemporary digital world and a modern economic landscape that means you're navigating this in a very different way than many generations before you have. And we're all just kind of fucking trying to work it out. I'm a long time VOD watcher. But I recently started streaming. I'm glad I could raid in. That's incredible. I'm so glad you've been enjoying watching the streams for so long. And you recently started streaming? 10 people watching your stream? Dude, fuck yeah. Good luck with all your streams. That is incredible. That is so sick. I hope you are having so much fun with streaming. I hope you are finding so much joy with your streaming, and that you get that bug, that itch, that joy from it, and you keep doing it. That's amazing. Congratulations. It's no like small feat to choose to start something, and as also like somewhat risky as streaming. You need to learn to fall on your face and enjoy falling on your face as a streamer. Luckily for me, I've spent a lot of my life embarrassing myself, being the butt of the joke, dealing with taking shit. So, I was a little bit more pre-prepared for fucking around and finding out when it comes to streaming. But even so, I feel like I'm still getting better each stream at, being prepared to make jokes that will inevitably never land. Class to E-clown to class clown to E-clown evolution. Although, I would never have said I was a class clown. I don't think I have that classic, like, YouTuber male path tree where it's like, I made one person laugh in high school and I've been chasing that high ever since. I don't think I have that. I think inevitably I probably fall a little bit more into that kind of a little bit more theatre kid aspect of it, in which I like only time I felt like I was able to bring some degree of no, what's the word I'm looking for here? Being so awkward and weird and strange and never know what I was doing with my gangly body, yet when I would get onto stage, I could be the most bullied person in my class, but if I read those lines, and if I said them with the right conviction, I could, entertain's a strong word, but I could engage, and I could do something, and I have some control, you know what I mean, of the space, like, while I played that little performance. Does that make sense? You're talking about this as helping me realize how much more normal my feelings in the creative process are, and that I'm not weird. Thank you. Ace I'm glad. Thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what I want this to be. That's exactly what I want this to be. We're probably going to jump on a bunch of different points right now, and we might not end up getting to unpacking every single idea that's being kind of brought up today, but it is going to be the first ever Sunday morning stream. So any of the ideas that are mentioned today that kind of just come up naturally in conversation, when the forum goes live later in next week, if anything I say today you guys want to delve into more, please feel free to submit your questions. If you're like, hey, that thing you said about performance or this, starting your projects, put them forwards. I want to keep unpacking this. I think it's good just in general for us to chalk it out. Also, I think it's good for me and my brain to talk it out with you all. I've been doing a lot more journaling recently, actually. I've mentioned this on stream. I guess I'll mention it again. Hi, sorry I'm late. You're not late at all. Welcome in, Garfield. Good morning. Welcome into the Sunday morning stream. Being funny all the time feels like a massive undertaking. Lucky for you guys, I'm never funny. Also, hello everybody. Welcome in. Verbal processing is great. Processing isn't really like a thing. I don't want this to be like treated like a therapy. This is just like, it's a cast. It's a conversation. It's a chat. It's a bunch of buds having a coffee in the morning and just talking about how their week's been. I learned that journaling is great. It just takes a bit to get into. Yes, so it's a stream of consciousness. Would you say it's a jet stream of consciousness? Funny looking. Aha. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. We're having coffee, hides beer. Hey, whatever hour it is for you, you can enjoy whatever beverage you would like. So, I'm sorry, Jets, but tomatoes. I deserved it. I deserve those tomatoes. Come on. I'll give you guys your flowers for being such an amazing community. You can give me my tomatoes for being such a cringe streamer. It's the perfect balance. All things perfectly in balance. Happy Sunday, Jean Faymas. Jean Faymas? I'm not going to the gym. Although there is a gym not far away from me, and their prices aren't that bad. And Mech Mum keeps kind of hinting that I should check it out. But I don't think it's going to be for me. That's jumping onto a different conversation. We'll circle back to that. Let's continue on what I was trying to mention with the journaling. Let's continue with what I was going to say with the journaling. I got a lift. Put a pin in that. Okay, do we put a pin in the Jets starts lifting arc, or do we put a pin in the Jets journaling arc? Okay, well, Jimbro, you guys are on the topic of Jimbro, and that'll probably distract you guys from throwing tomatoes at me. So. So, boys, I always said if I get weights, I always said, hey boys, if I get weights, you take me out back and old yell at me, right? Because I've gone off the deep end. If I get weights and start weightlifting, you'll make me walk the plank, right? Didn't I say that? So I've been looking into researching, listening to different people's takes and feedbacks, ideas about workout routines, schedules, reading articles, looking for maybe some books I can read going forward about different kind of balances within health stuff, and talking to my mum a lot about things, because as for those that don't know, my mum is a former professional bodybuilder and personal trainer and fitness instructor. And my entire life, because of the way that she was, I was kind of opposed to health stuff. Also, I was a very much awkward dweeby weeb who'd run around going Nico Nico Ni and watching Lucky Star in 5 parts and being bullied and spending my lunches in the art room. You know, those two things don't really align themselves well. However, I, in the last year, as you guys many of you guys know, have got into being more conscious about taking care of my health in relation to this weird thing which I did, which is kind of trick myself into taking care of myself to be able to stream longer, better, be healthier, and keep doing this into an olden age, you know? Don't make me take away your Niku Nuku kneecaps. So I got a spin bike, really kind of small, crappy spin bike, and maybe one day if I work really hard, I can finally have a Peloton. But I got myself a small, crappy spin bike because I thought, hey, this is a great thing. I'll just move my legs while watching episodes of Star Trek. And that was step one. And then I was doing the thing where I was like, I'll move my legs watching episodes of Star Trek. And I was like, well, if I'm spin biking, I should probably start stretching. And also so then I started stretching. And then I was like, well, if I'm spin biking and I'm stretching, I should look for different stretches, that target different parts of my body. So then I started looking to Pilates. Because I was like, well, these are different stretch techniques that I can do without any kind of equipment. And I want to be on a budget. I don't want to have a bunch of gym equipment. I basically like being in my own little cozy space. So I'll do that, and that was the next step, was looking into Pilates, and then it was finding Pilates routines. Then it was integrating Pilates into my weekly, like, either wake up or cool down routine at least 3 times a week, targeting different parts of my body just so they're getting stretched out and, you know, moved around. And then I kept on looking into more of it. And here's the thing, and then, you know, you start getting that dopamine hit. You start getting that post-spin bike high. You start going like, I should maybe think about integrating more. Well, then it fundamentally changed my appetite. That's what happened next. Was it fundamentally changed my appetite, and it took me about the last 8 months to work out how to eat again. And I talked about that a bit earlier in the week. Completely, I basically had to relearn how to eat because it completely changed my appetite, because my body has started producing, like, you know, adrenaline and whatever, cortisol, whatever, glucamates, and, you know, the way that, like, my body was digesting energy and needed more stuff. So then I had to, you know, I started trying out little protein bars here and there, and I started eating eggs and more fish and stuff, not even because I was like, this is healthy, but I was like, kind of what I'm craving, kind of what my body wants right now. My body actually wants to have a protein in every meal I have. Then obviously you start doing that, and YouTube starts recommending you like shorts about, here's the best way to get protein into your diet, and you kind of end up falling down a little bit of like a YouTube slippery slide of advice and all that kind of stuff, etc. But I was like, I need to know more about this because I'm a little bit clueless, and so I asked my mum a lot of stuff. This is so real. Your body like wants a balanced diet. It's really weird how if you start doing these things, you legitimately start craving like, I need leafy greens and 500 liters of water. Also, hi Derpy, welcome, and how you doing? You look up one recipe and your entire algorithm becomes gym bro meal prep videos. Yup. But for me, I got a lot of like Pilates girls, things like that I wasn't really vibing with. However, I did start finally getting some interesting like suggestions and pointers and stuff. Specifically, computer, 500 liters of water. Specifically in regards to, and this is what it segues into the thing we were meant to be talking about. Thanks, YouTube. Very cool. Weightlifting. So I started getting some kind of pointers and videos and like articles about weightlifting, and I talked to Mechma about this. So I don't know if you guys know this. You probably don't, lads, because you know you're my boys. So let me give you a little bit of perspective here as a lass. Weightlifting has often been like very prejudicedly discriminated against women doing it forever, because it's like this like weird thing of like, you all look like, you know, fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger buff to the fuck, you know. So women tend to do more like lean workouts, you know, athletic kind of stuff. However, in recent years, there's been lots of research and investigation done about weightlifting for women, right? And it's actually, from everything I've looked into and talking to my mum about it, it is one of the most beneficial things that women can do. First of all, you're not going to end up looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're not. And if you do, fuck yeah, based, you know, a lean beefcake kind of core. But you're not going to, because it's so hard to build muscle and maintain muscle. That is like a massive, that's like, nowadays, if anyone has muscle, I went from being like, that's a bit like whatever, to like, holy crap, that's like so impressive. That's a lot of time and energy out of your week to do that. Ladies need to fight osteoporosis. Dave, you bet me to my goddamn punch point. But yes, there's been so much research recently into not even high impact heavy weightlifting, but if you want to build towards it, just lifting things, small light level weights for women is like fundamentally a game changer. And so important because of the ways women's bodies develop osteoporosis, and like because of like our muscle mass, the way our body goes through hormone changes, menopause and stuff like that. Our women are more susceptible to like bone weakness stuff, all those kinds of things. And it's like, oh, what the fuck? It's actually really, really good. It's so actually prioritizing strength is like super beneficial. And I talked to my mom and she's like, yeah, that's weights. I know this. I've known this for years. I was like, Mom, you just been letting me like rot on a chair for like the last. She's like, well, I wasn't gonna force you to do anything. And I was like, you know what? That's why I really appreciate you, Mom, because you never tried to like force me to do this. And this is great that I've been able to naturally work this out myself. But all this is to say is I have been looking at weights online. I haven't bought them. I haven't bought weights yet because they're expensive. They're really, really expensive. And at the moment, I'm currently debating if I do go get gym membership or if I just get weights myself. The idea though, this does segue into they're expensive, specifically to ship. You're shipping like weights. So the cost of shipping is like a couple hundred because of the actual like, you know, like the how heavy they are. Yeah, making the weights aren't expensive. It's the shipping. Exactly. But what I was gonna say, resistant bands. Yeah, that's what Mech Mom said. My book's on resistance bands. What I was gonna say is I have this thought process at the moment with a project idea, which I kind of have been hinting at throughout the week, which I might be giving away too much if we say the whole project right now, but I feel like there's only like a chill amount of jetpacks right here this morning. Don't tell me how many there are. I'm assuming there's like 5 of us just hanging out having coffee. It's a Sunday morning stream. Most people don't know how live that I'm even live at the moment. I kind of want to do a blood build stream event. This is an idea that's in the back of my head. It's going to take a little bit because there's a lot of things I want to get and it might be an expensive investment. Like I might end up having to put a couple grand down for it. But I think it could be very, very fun. Blood build stream in which we do a sub incentive-esque stream. Wait, what? What? Question mark? Nosferatu? No. We do a sub kind of incentive stream in which we play Bloodborne. First of all, and there are punish incentives related to workouts playing Bloodborne, i.e. because I got a standing desk, if I like die to a mob, I have to sit down and do like I have to do like 5 rep squats, blood and sweat. Yeah, blood, sweat and tears. I was like, we could do a blood, sweat and tears kind of sub event thing for Bloodborne. So I've written down all the things I want to get. For example, so I want, and for this stream event, I want to do all full body tracking. I want to have full body tracking set up for it. I'm looking into maybe getting tracking gloves so you guys can properly see my hand tracking movement. It's not just my stagnant leap motion. Full body. So, and then getting maybe weights. I'm considering at the moment if a walking pad could be funny, because the idea of being like someone, if you gift like X amount of subs, I have to fight the boss while being on a walking pad is fucking hilarious. You know, like I think we could play with this being really intense and ridiculous, and maybe one of like the funnest absurd little events ever. The idea would be like if I die, there are incentives to specific like things I have to do. Yeah, pay to increase treadmill speed. Exactly. This is sounding like a put Jets in the hospital event. Yeah, but I do it for the content, Dave. Obviously, I'll have to think about this a little bit. Just try not to push yourself too hard with working out. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I wouldn't want it to go too crazy, but would make it like the incentives decent. It wouldn't be like, oh, 5 bits and I do 500 squats. It'd be like 10 subs, 1 squat maybe. Like, or like 5 subs, 1 squat, 10 subs, 5 squats, etc. Like it would be like, you know. And obviously there'll be incentives like if I die to a mob, I do like a one, you know, lunge or something. Just make sure you do it after get over the initial. I've begun working out soreness. I think I'm pretty far past that at this point. I've been doing consistent daily movement for like 8 months, 9 months now. Did you see someone made a controller mod connected to the treadmill to walk in Death Stranding? I see, those are the kind of things I want to do more of this year. I think those are the kind of things consciously I would love to do more of this year. Obviously, we have a bunch of projects that are still ongoing, like me needing to get Steel Battalion set up, me wanting to get the retro stream stuff and the CRT stuff functioning and working in this new space, which is a bit different. And this project, which I've had written down on my to-do list for a while, Blood, Sweat and Tears stream. So there's things I need to get for it. Obviously, I need to get like a PlayStation, get Bloodborne, get the trackers, get the new base station, have to invest in gloves, have to invest in the actual equipment. So that would take a bit to actually acquire, order, get the facility, get all set up, get working. But when that happens, I think that could be really wonderful. At the moment, the game plan maybe will be for, if not next month, maybe the start of the month after it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't want to put an exact time and date, but I want you guys to, I just wanted to say out loud that's kind of one of the projects, that's the first projects of the year that I'm kind of wanting to get the ball rolling on and look into doing. Please be careful. You don't want blood, sweat, and torn tendon stream. Yeah, we'll need to workshop the incentives so they're fun for you guys and me and realistic. She said it now. It's set in stone. You might want to have limits. Exactly. It would be like an endurance stream. So it would be Bloodborne non-stop. We would do back-to-back Bloodborne streams with the incentives until I finish Bloodborne. Is this a ridiculous thing? Yes. Am I a ridiculous person? Absolutely. Do I think it's gonna make for a really absurdly brilliant series of streams? Fuck yeah. Do you drink protein powder? That's yes. To answer your question, yes. Took me a little bit to get into protein powder. I think didn't we talk about this? It was like 6 months ago I tried my first ever protein powder and I fucking hated it. I hated it. I could not vibe with it. I was having it in like a shaker. I thought it was disgusting. And that's when I got into trying out protein bars, which I liked a little bit more, but they're ridiculously expensive. And so I do get protein bars only when they're on a half price, and I kind of bulk buy them and I keep them in my pantry, and I only eat them about a half, if not a quarter at a time to make them stretch longer. Because I feel like they're just, I have them with other things. Like I'll have them with yogurt as like an extra protein thing rather than just downing the entire bar because it feels like a waste for me. However, I will say nuts, grain, legumes. Yeah, I just prefer to get protein from like eggs, fish, natural things. I do have protein powder, but I tend to mix it. What I've found for me protein powder wise, is I did find a decent vanilla flavored one, and I just mix it with my yogurt. I mix it with pancakes. I made protein pancakes when I was moving, the first week in this new facility. I made like protein pancakes. I find for me with protein, I don't like it in shake form. I'll add it to like a smoothie. I'll add it to pancakes. I'll add it to like oats, but I don't want to just have it with water. I think that's the most like junky form. That's the most gym bro junky form of consuming your protein. That's the most like, I can only have egg whites and broccoli, and if I add salt and pepper, it ruins my micros or my macros or whatever. It's like, bro, salt has no calories. Fuck off. Just season your goddamn food. I want protein with water straight to my veins. It's like, dude, you can also mix that with like a banana, and you're also getting like potassium. My man, please. Like, raw dogging my protein with powder with water. I eat my chicken raw, and I just like, I'm not about that life. I'm not about that life. The trick is to use milk. Yeah, it's I like to mix it with my yogurt. It's nice. I had this morning actually. This morning, I never mentioned what I had for breakfast this morning. I was going to have my yogurt this morning on stream, but I did this thing where I was concerned about getting everything organized in time, so I got organized too early and ended up demolishing my yogurt this morning while the loading screen was happening. I had a bit of yogurt this morning. I had it with some berries. I had it with berries, a little bit of peanut butter, granola, a bit of like bran flakes, and jam. I had a PB&J inspired yogurt bowl this morning, and I mixed protein powder into it. Granola is good. It's very tasty. Yes. Yeah. A little bit of peanut butter, a little bit of jelly. Yeah, the Greek yogurt. I get the. If you guys do care, I get like the protein. I don't know if you guys have it where you are in your part of the world, but in Australia it's called YoPro. It's my favorite yogurt. It's so delicious. I get the large tub of unflavored YoPro, and I have it with everything. It's so good. It's so good. It's like a stand-in for sour cream. It's a stand-in for any kind of cream, and it's just delicious. I had it on my bagel instead of cream cheese. It was delicious. I had it with I mixed dill into it. I've turned it into tzatziki. It's amazing. Soyberg, thank you for 500 bits. I don't know if this is a thing down there in Oz, but you, Mech Mum, Mech Sis, and Mech Bro could go together and buy a whole cow. Then spit up the meat from butchering to $1 per pound. Zoberg, that is very hilarious. I do not know if I've never heard of that. But I'm sorry to break your heart, Zoberg. My entire family are soy boys, actually. In fact, this is actually a weird thing. This is probably getting maybe a little bit too familiar with you all. Like, you know me, I tend to be a bit vague about. Sometimes I'll tell you guys life anecdotes, sometimes I won't. You guys know now. For ages I never talked about this on stream. I think it took me 3 years to even mention this on stream. But I'm now more comfortable with myself and streaming to kind of yap about this. I became veggie jets when I was 11, 10, even younger. I think I was even younger than that. Because I'm a little bitch baby. One day I was a really, really young adolescent, and I just decided I no longer wanted to. I don't want to hurt animals. And I walked out of my bedroom. I distinctively remember it. I was really, really young, and I walked out of my bedroom into the kitchen. And this is before I even listened to the Smiths, which is crazy, right? Isn't it insane? If I could sit here and tell you I became a veggie because of Morrissey, it would be fucking hilarious. But no, far before that. I was a really young kid, and I walked out into the kitchen, and Mech Mum was there cooking dinner, and I said Mum, I don't want to eat animals anymore. And she going, oh. All right, sweets. And I was like, it makes me sad. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. Your sister's cooking homemade popcorn chicken for dinner. It's gonna be lovely. Do you not want that? And I was like, no. She's like, all right, I'll get you some peas from the fridge. And so I was like, thank you. And then I kind of have never turned back, and I don't know why my brain decided to do that. I would say that I think technically there's always terms and labels that people give themselves, right? Terms and labels of things I'm a vegan, I'm plant-based, I'm ethical this, I'm freegan, I'm pesket. I don't know what the fuck I am. I'm vibes-based. I think technically what I would be considered is plant-based, because I'm not it's not a lifestyle to me. I'm not around the fucking killing people because I'm you dared breathe near a butcher, I'm vibing my own I'm just chilling my own world. I'm a vibetarian. You eat fish though? Yes. See, that's the thing though. Because I've also, once again, I've vibed through many phases of my life. Throughout my being very, very little, when I was very, very little, you know, I was just like, I grew up in a very, very, very small town. So I just kind of ate what I could get. The definition of, like, I remember Mech Mum first got tofu for me because she didn't know what else to get me. She's like, I've got a daughter and she doesn't want to eat meat. What do I get her? And so she brought home a tub, like a large block of tofu, and she's like, sweets, do you want to try cooking? I'll try cooking tofu. She had no idea how to cook for me, and I didn't know what to cook either, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like working it out. I was so young and I decided to do this, and she was, you know, she's like, I'll just try and help you out. We always have bubble and squeaks in the freezer, which is like an Australian food thing, which made of like potatoes and peas and stuff. So if we ever had like burgers or stuff, I just would have like a bubble and squeak that I'd fry up on the pan. But like I said, with going like with saying like I'm vibetarian. When I went into uni, I was like I was like fully vegan for a few years, technically, because I was like, it's because I moved states and I was finally out of family home and I could control my you know, my diet and everything. So I was like, I'm gonna be vegan. Why not? If I'm gonna do, fuck it, why not? I've not ate the meats for years, so why not? I'll try being vegan. So then I was that for ages, and that's when I got into. But that's when, though I'm not a vegan nowadays. It was more just like I learned a lot about cooking. You learn so much about food, flavor, seasoning, cooking. I can cook such a mean tofu nowadays, boys. I know all the different alternatives, blah 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 blah. But nowadays I like cheese too much. Also, I really vibe with eggs. Also, I'm okay with a little bit of like milk here and there, you know? It was just like but I kind of open-minded, you know? I just, whatever feels right. Although I will say nowadays ice cream, but gourmet. I wouldn't say I will say when I go about eating like products made from animals, I guess that's the term I'm looking for here. I like to try and get the nicest stuff, but since I'm special, you know, I try and get the nicest stuff. Like if I'm like the cheese that's made by like a really nice local cheese place that, you know, they're supporting farms and stuff, just because I don't know, that's satisfying to me. And then you get like a good quality thing, and it's like a treat, you know, it's local stuff slaps, you know, you're supporting local farmers. And I'm not saying like I'm out here spending $1,000 on gourmet truffle cheese. I'm more just like, oh, that's on special and it's like a nicer quality thing, and you know that the farms probably are doing decent shit. Fuck yeah, I'll grab myself a little tasty aged cheddar, you know. That's kind of where I try to do that. Try to go for that. All I'm saying here, all I'm saying is when you ask the question of buying the cow with my family, here's the funny thing, boys. Here's the funny fucking thing. So when I was younger, like once again, young me going, Mama, I don't want to hurt anything because I'm a little bitch baby. All my family, you know, ate whatever. Nowadays, most of my family have went the other end. They're more veggie than I am. Basically, slowly, all over time, all my family went that way, which is crazy to me. Which is crazy. Like, crazy. I would say nowadays I'm more vibe-based than most of other members of my family. Like, crazily enough. And it wasn't me. Like, I didn't even corrupt them. It just happened slowly over time. Like, every time I'd check back in, it'd be like, Mech Mum, oh yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna try oat milk, you know? And then, like, Rowan says, yeah. But then again, I've kind of implied this beforehand, that, like, Mech sis is a bit of a hippie. Like, she's like a surfer. She's like a... If anybody in the fam was gonna be, like, the stereotypical vegan... It's more so Mech sis, you know. She's more the like goes to the market and, you know, takes texts mech niece, and they go and get like organic kombucha. Kind of, she's Point Break. She goes out rock climbing and surfing and all that kind of stuff. Oatmeal kind of fucks, not gonna lie, kind of does. But that's always been funny to me, actually. It's been very funny to me how I got into it so young, just because I was like a weird, strange kid that chose to make this point for some reason. And now my entire family is all that way. It's so funny how that turns out. So what you're saying is you did it before it was cool. I don't think I did. The thing is, I didn't do it because I was cool. I don't know what compelled me. I was so young and I just decided someday, and then I never looked back. And then lactose intolerant. I didn't know. I don't actually know. I don't think I've asked them personally. So you're calling them weird now? No. But yeah, I just take things easy. And try and eat what I like and what's tasty for me. But unfortunately, I mean, honestly, unfortunately or fortunately, however you look at it with your own understanding of food, diet, and your world and every perspective, I don't think I'll probably ever have meat. Which is ever again, which is like, not even that I would be opposed to it. Like, I've watched Anthony Bourdain cook up like a mean steak and go, that looks probably really tasty. That probably looks delicious. I've seen like all those delicious cooking videos on the New York Times, like Korean style barbecue pork, and go, that looks delicious. But I just don't think I could do it. I just don't think it would appeal to me. And it just like, it's been so long, it's been so long. I would even take a nibble. Once again, I would, if someone like offered, there has been cases where like I've ordered something somewhere and like it's like a pasty, a pie, even like a Chinese takeout, mapo tofu, they've forgotten to remove the mince, and I've started eating it, and I went, oh, I'm not vibing with this. This is really weird. Why is this freaking me out? And it'll turn out, I'll realize it's because it's got meat in it. That's happened to me so many times over the last years of me being alive on this planet. And I'm just like, when I realize, I go, ugh, and I just don't finish it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where my palate's just not really into it. And it's not like that happens to me and I'm like, oh no, I need to go end my existence because I accidentally had a mouthful of mint. Like, that's happened so many times over the last few years because you accidentally ate something. But I just will go like, oh, it's not really for me. You bananas, try again. I literally did on stream and it was the worst. It was the worst. It just disagrees with me. I don't know. Interesting. It's interesting how that happens, right? I don't know what it is, but it happens. Shame on me and the cow I pledged to protect. Seppuku it is. Yeah. Imagine that's like, I feel like that, like, cause I've had it for so long, I feel like if I had just become veggie like a year ago, that would be more of my brain thing. I'm like, oh, I fucked it all up. It's so over, man. I'm gonna relapse. It's like, no, mistakes happen. You sometimes accidentally get a piece of pork in your barmy because it falls off the tray, whatever. You move on. You just keep on. You gotta cut off a pinky for every mistake you make and give it to Peter. Yeah. Can't live without meat. Every meal needs protein. Phoenix, what if I told you every meal I eat, I have a really healthy serving of protein in it? What if I tell you that I make sure, for sure. I've like done different methods of tracking and checking to make sure I'm getting healthy proteins. Gasp. I was so confused because I always heard mint and not mince. But yeah, you do you. Mints. Oh, mints. Oh, like it sounds like mints. Mince. It does mince. It does sound very familiar, doesn't it? Is it the Australian accent? Yeah, mince like mince meat, not mints with a hard t. Mince with a soft t, I guess. Mince meat. As averse to, and which is a confusing thing in Australia because mince pies are fruit-based, like mince Christmas pies. But we also have mince meat pies in Australia, which is a very, very, very popular snack for tradies, the average person. You know what I've not had since I've been back? Boys, you know what I've not had since I've been back that I need to go have? I've not had a good pasty. Boys, I've not had a good pasty. I gotta get myself a good pasty. I also haven't had tiramisu. I've been talking about this because I want to make my own homemade tiramisu. But we've gotten the whole boring, uninteresting conversation about food and stuff and weightlifting. This wasn't the plan for today. This was not the plan for the conversation today. Today was meant to be about... The plan for today was meant to be talking about planning projects and changes, moving, that kind of stuff. We've went through a whole different conversation point. Let's do our best to put a pin on this conversation about working out, food, diet, health stuff, and we'll push that to maybe next Sunday morning's stream. That can be, we can maybe have a dedicated Jets cast, which is all about us talking about, you know, health and food and culinary exploration, because that is something that I've definitely gotten into, and we could totally have a whole dedicated Jetsudan stream talking about cooking. Today is meant to be more about planning, changes, I guess, talking about the fear of change, the risk of change, the fear of starting a project, the struggle of finishing a project. That's more what I wanted to talk about today. Well, you did say you'd make a Jets puppet to Arts in a Minute, and I still want to do that. We could probably also have some of the Sunday morning streams be dedicated to talking about art and art history, actually. There's an agenda, the Jean Faymas agenda, which is just a talk about nonsense. That's the thing about plans, boss. They really do survive the impact with reality. That is true. Also, hi, Kaliasin. Sorry I didn't say hello to you. Welcome in. I hate change, especially changing topics. That's the worst. Have you ever had a project sitting at 98 completion and struggled to just finish it? Of course. Of course. There's a bunch of things sitting in the Jets art folder that will never reach past the concept art phase. There's a bunch of things which I have to keep in the concept art phase and kind of look at realistically. They won't happen for the next 2 to maybe 3 years. I would love to do the Mecha Masume Jets design, but I think Mecha Masume Jets won't be for quite a while of me streaming. That's going to be like a long-term Musume? Mecha Musume? That's not going to be for a long while, because there's a bunch of other things that I would like to work on first, that I need to work on first, and that I will be worked on first before that. For example, there is currently a Jets outfit in the works. The Darkie, for example. That's interesting because I've basically got side 1 of the Darkie art almost entirely done. I basically have one half of the Darkie pillow entirely done. And the Darkie actually is a great segue back onto what we were talking about earlier in the chat, in the regards of working on art for me, needing a full day, at least one, minimum a week, to sit down, to like wake up, have my breakfast, have my coffee, and then go, today I'm working on art. Start to finish, I'm not talking, I'm just listening to music, I'm watching YouTube videos, and I'm working on art. That's why the Darkie's not been done. Because I've not had those days. I've not had those days to be able to sit down and work on the Darkie. And so I started the Darkie about over a year ago now. And it's gotten so far in which I don't like it anymore. My art skills have actually changed and improved so much that the first side of it's finished and I'm not happy and satisfied with it anymore, and I feel the urge to completely restart it. But that means I'm also currently in this position where I'm like, maybe I should just commission someone for the Darkie. I'm in that little thing where maybe it's just best if I offload that project, because it is such a time sink. I want the art to be so good quality, and I'm a little bit in my head over it. I'm a little bit in my head about the Darkie art. I feel like I get really far with it, and then I'm not satisfied with it no matter what I do. So it's either I commission an artist to work on it. That way I'm not in my head about it and self-critical, if that makes sense. Because it's my art, I'm being excessively self-critical. If I commission other artists, then I think that it's amazing, you know. I'm like, I got that third person thing where I'm like, that is God tier, thank you so much. There's nothing wrong with running the ship and not piloting it, so to speak. Yeah, exactly. You're your own harshest critics. We all of that kind of stuff. But when you finish the other side, you won't like that. That's the thing. It takes so long. I'm not giving myself enough time to work on it. By the time I finish the second side, there's a chance I won't like the first side. So what I'm hoping to do, I've been working through kind of like an itinerary somewhat of the projects I need to get done, the order I need to get them done, the time I need to get them done, and with the time frames. I want to have like a day or two off during the week to actually sit down and work on art, specifically art. That's what the whole thing that day is dedicated to. I think it was Jess that just said, I miss Jet's art streams. I don't think Jet's digital art streams will ever be back. Just being honest with you all, being forward. I don't function well. I've learnt I don't function well as a live streamer artist. I just don't. Art for me is something I need to do in pure silence. I have to. It's too many distractions. My entertainer brain in the back of my head saying like, do something, do a bit, go on a tangent, make a joke, is at total conflict with my I need to focus on this and say nothing and just work part of my brain. So those two things don't work well together. I can't, and also I need to be realistic about the fact that I'm also working on a lot of projects that I can't actually show on stream. Concept art for other VTubers, concept art for myself, artwork and projects for soon to be debuted stuff. So I actually can't be working on them live. So it's probably best I just give myself a day off to work on that art, get it done every now and then. You can do some doodle streams. Yes. Things I would like to do art-wise on stream, painting streams. Painting I think would be a lot more achievable. Obviously I still want to do Gunpla streams. Those are crafty things I can totally do on stream. But specifically digital art, I just have found that they don't work well together. Also, unfortunately, when it comes to digital art, there is that kind of back and forth conversation with, you know, a Twitch chat, and you inevitably get that kind of feedback, which I will admit, in every single case scenario of anything else I stream, Gunpla, even painting, if I stream cooking, if we do video games, you know, great. I unfortunately never want to have feedback while working on digital art unless I have explicitly asked for it. It's not good. And then it's actually not kind of a healthy dynamic in some ways to be live and to be in a vulnerable mid-progress state of creating and working on a project. It's so bad for your progress to be at that like messy trust the process point and have a live feedback loop. It's just not ideal. It has caused me to stop certain projects in the past when I tried to live stream them. I would shut down if people backseated my creative projects. Yeah, like it genuinely has made me be like, fuck that painting, and just like not worked on it. And this is from years ago because I've not done lots of art streams in so long. But what if you drew it like this? Exactly. I think it's a growth and a learning experience to know that I just need to put days off to work on my commissions. Since you can't provide feedback live, please take these comments and sprinkle them to you like, wow, good job. That looks nice. You're working hard. That's a cool idea. See, even positive affirmation when you're in the flow state is bad. It might be weird to say that. But if you're in the flow state, hearing anything can be bad, because if you're in the flow state and you're like, I'm not sure about this, and someone goes, that looks great, you go, fuck off, it's at the middle part of it. It doesn't look great. In fact, it looks messy. I know it can look better. And then, you know, now you're distracted. You're distracted and you're completely thrown off, and you go, oh, screw this, I'm gonna go get coffee. You know what I mean? Like, when I was working in the studio in art school, you know, you're in a big public studio with people, with a lot of people moving in and out of the space, right? It was normally a very hallowed and respected thing. If you got your headphones in and you're working on your painting, you don't get bothered. And most painters who were working understood this. The time when you would bother an artist or you would give feedback were during group crit sessions, because they were designed for that. That was a purpose for them. Or if your fellow peer came over to you, tapped you on your shoulder and said, hey, I would like to hear your feedback about this specific thing. And that meant that they were healthily engaging in that, because they were in the right state to have a conversation about an idea. The thing that would be the worst is if you were working on your project and some freaking first year, fourth year, drawing ass student, ceramics kid, goddamn boyfriend, girlfriend stumbled into the studio and you're in your flow state, and then they would come behind you and just cross their arms. And you're like, you right there, buddy? And they go, oh, it looking really good. Or they'd be like, that's interesting. Why'd you do that? And you're like, that's the underlayer painting. That's the rough sketch. You know what I mean? It's just like anything. When it comes to working a project, sometimes any kind of just like observational comment when you're in that early messy development stage can just completely throw you. You know? So I think that's part of the mentality of like why for me needing to have those days to actually work on art offline is very important. You artists are so very temperamental. But it's not even art. It can be like, let's say you're an engineering student and you're a coder, or you're a doctor, a doctorate, a nurse, you know, and you're on call and you're focused and you're on a project, and someone walks into like your office. You're an athlete and you're working reps in the gym or whatever, and you're halfway through counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and someone comes in, it could throw you. Maybe, right? I don't know. Maybe it's personal. Maybe you're built different. Maybe you have got a different flow state. What I'm saying is personal. This is personal experience as to how my brain works. Everyone's brain works differently, you know? So if this relates to you, fair. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All I'm saying is this has kind of contributed to my understanding of better knowing that I just can't do digital art on stream. Specifically, I can't do digital art that is project based on stream anymore. But that does mean I need to give myself full days to get these projects done, because otherwise they're not going to get done. Just like the darkie. The darkie has been putting off forever, and this is why I've got the concept art. It is so close to being. I could show it to you boys, and you guys would probably say that looks sick, and I look at it and go, that's season 1 Jet's face. The problem is it's been so long. The darkie has my old face. It has my old design. It legitimately needs to have a revamp to apply to the newest look. There was a time in my job when this one guy who's been here for only like 3 years was coming up to me and telling me how to do this and that, and not knowing that I was at the job for 5 years. So I think I get what you mean. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna apply definitely to other contexts. I've never seen anyone be less grateful for lifting form tips, even if it wasn't good. It's so hard to get perspective of your own movement sometimes. I think the gym thing, the lifting, the perspective tips thing is a whole different ballpark. Oh, I said we weren't going to segue back into health stuff, boys. I said I wasn't going to segue back into health stuff, but Mech Mom literally was like, sweets, even if you don't want to get a gym membership, we should go to the gym and I'll just check your technique. And I was like, you know what, Mom, that's probably a good call. That's probably actually a really good call. We probably should do that. I don't want to, yeah, you know what, we probably should do that. And we're not going to get back into, she's going to backseat me, boys. My mom's going to backseat my squats technique. She's going to backseat my lunge technique. So is there a middle ground where we as chat can show excitement and appreciation for your work without this interruption development flow process? I think the best part is knowing what is ideal to share on stream and what isn't, you know? I love giving project updates. This whole stream right here is going to be project updates. If I'm working on things and I'm like, hey boys, update on that project, I can share it and we can have a chat. And if you guys want to say it looks cool, looks bad, totally can. Discord, totally. I will share things. I will ask questions all the time in Discord. Is this look good? The amount of times I've shared in the Discord, boys, what looks best for a thumbnail for a YouTube video? And I go like this one or that one, and then you guys say which one you prefer, and I get that feedback, and it's super helpful. I'm not against feedback. In fact, the opposite. I hope what I'm saying here is not giving off the impression that asking for feedback is bad, because I completely disagree with that. In fact, I think it is essential and incredibly beneficial to have various networks for feedback, and that's like essential in creativity, but can apply to everything. When it comes, like, things I'm talking about apply to what I do, because of course it's going to be the case, because I'm talking about things from personal experience. Like for me, painting, or you know, asking for feedback on a YouTube video, or going into the group chat with the girls and being like, here's concepts for a design that I'm working on. What one do you think looks best out of the 3 options? Option 2, option 3, that kind of stuff. It's important to get a variety of perspectives. And sometimes asking is to find out that you already knew the answer. Sometimes. But it's still good to ask. It's still good just to double check. It's when unsolicited advice is thrown into the mix. It's like, yeah, sometimes. True, yerp. Creative process is fragile, and it's different for everybody. And I think it's very helpful to get perspective. But also, I guess that extends to not just perspective from peers, but also perspective from, I guess, different avenues, self-perspective. And also, like, recently, this is a good jump to point back to what I wanted to talk about earlier. Recently, I've been really good with both journaling and reading. And I want to keep it up. I've not been good with meditating. By the way, boys, I've only meditated like once this week. I'm so bad at meditating. I don't know how to do it. I'm the worst at that. I suck shit at meditation. I don't think it's for me. Reading though, and writing, that I can do. That I'm really, that's real easy to integrate into my routine. Something I do with my family is I'm start drawing. I just add different ideas and design, make one big piece of art. It's just for fun. It always ends up something different, helps branch out instead of just doing knights and cowboy drawings, at least for me, but not for everyone. That's really cool. No, that's always fun. Well, definitely when it comes to drawing, doing things, creative projects like that are completely outside your comfort zone is so important. Like if you're just a painter, sometimes you should sketch with pencils and just see what happens. Or if you're just a pencil person, try sketching with pastels. Do the same sketch you were going to do, but with a different medium to see what happens. And I guess that applies to a lot of different things. If you're a musician, use an instrument you wouldn't use. If you're I guess there's like different ways for this to apply. I'm trying to think of this outside of art context, it's really hard for me. You need to understand, I suffer from artist brain rot. I suffer from art dweeb brain rot. A lot of this is going to be seen through a very specific lens I have. Chef, yeah, if you're cooking, try adding a different seasoning. Have you ever seen a corpse? How about an exquisite one? Hey, I do love exquisite corpse. I've done exquisite. I'm a bit of a, I wouldn't say weirdo, because that makes it seem like, oh my god, she's so quirky. But I often have a pen and paper on me constantly, just because I listen to the great words of the late great David Lynch of, if you forget an idea, it makes you want to commit suicide. I always have a pen and paper on me. So if I think of an idea or a sketch, specifically sketch, like if I want to sketch out a concept for a thought, I need a pen and paper on me. But because of that, I've often, like, if I've been at family dinners or I've gone out places, I will rip a piece of paper off and start doing exquisite corpses. Or I also have a bad habit, if I'm out at a restaurant and other people are talking and I don't know what to do with my hands, I start folding origami flowers with the napkins. Oh, all the time. All the time, man. Sorry, what was I saying? Reading, writing, all the good stuff. It's hard to learn how to draw. I've never tried drawing anything before. LOL! Well, that's your problem, Ask Clash. Well, I guess the first thing is, 1, do you want to learn how to draw? 2, what do you want to learn how to draw? 3, why do you want to learn how to draw? And I guess the final thing after that, you answer all these questions, is how do you want to learn how to draw? I think having a motivation is the most essential when getting into any kind of new interest, hobby, craft, cooking, working out, streaming. Then will you draw. Yes, anime woman, big knockers, easy. What's next? Well, then you have your flow chart, bro. Step 1, look at lots of images of anime woman with big knockers. Step 2, start drawing them. Not having motivation is probably my main reason not to learn drawing. It's the fucking hardest part. I guess maybe I lucked out as a person by having very obsessive tendencies. And that links very well to being very motivated. I think I have a proclivity for obsession. And I don't know if this is necessarily healthy. And I think at some point in my life, it might end up burning me out. Or it might end up, burning me. You know what I mean? In the regards of, how, who knows how long being an obsessive person is sustainable for. Obsession, be it with interests, food obsessions, streaming obsessions, project obsessions. If I get an idea in my head, it's very hard to get that idea to go away. I started carrying 3 small notebooks, random sketching, business ideas, other notes. Yes! I'm such a big believer in carrying little notebooks and having little notebooks everywhere. Sorry, talking about journaling and reading and writing. It sure is a double-edged sword, right? That's the issue with most things. We don't have a progress bar, and thus we can't see our advancements. I think the meme of gamifying your existence is often cringed on or insulted, but it's kind of smart. If you change the way, for me, writing down to-do lists on a little notepad is giving me giving me quests. It's giving me daily quests. Right now, after stream today, I need to water my plants. I need to do some washing. I need to clean down the counters. And I wrote them into a list. And they're my little daily quests. I have little progress markers in the kitchen. A little blue triangle hovering over my sink for where I need to do my dishes. and then I cross it out. And then I've completed my little daily tasks. And then you get treats when you're done. Yeah, because I also need to go to the groceries, and on my trip to the grocery store, I want to get myself a coffee. 2 XP, baby. I get that 2 XP coffee boost for doing my daily tasks. You gotta finish your fucking dailies, bro. You gotta lock in. It sounds so goofy, but it kind of fucking works. It's the Animal Crossing mentality. I was so good at Animal Crossing, man. So I just... I guess I just applied that shit to my life. My life is like a video game. Do your little tasks and don't get killed by the imposter. Yo, welcome in, Silver. Hi, Raiders. Shiv Raid crashing in. Hi. Oh, yo, Shiv. Hi. How are you doing? How's your stream? Shiv, how are you doing? We're siblings, right? Shiva, you're rigged by the incredible hamster crumbs. Jetpack, if you don't know Shiva, they are a really comfortable streamer. Please go send your kindness back that way. They are a mech pilot also? No, astronaut? I don't want to get your lore wrong, bro. But they do have an incredibly cool plug suit design. And you know me, boys. I'm biased for a lady in a plug suit. So please do go check out Shiva. They're really comfortable, cool streamer. Thank you so much for the raid. If you do have to head off, no pressure to hang around. Welcome in though. Today is our first ever Sunday Mornings with Jets, and we've just been talking about life, projects, planning. It is going to be a short stream, so I'm probably only going to be live for about another hour or so longer, just talking about life, getting to chat. So if you want a space that's comfy, you can hang around, but if you want to head off, that's all good. No pressure. How's stream going? Going well. We were just talking about gamifying your life to get projects done. Lewd joke detected. Refraining. Lewd jokes? No lewd jokes in my chat, okay? Please be respectful, gentlemen. Jetpack, you're classy packs, aren't you all? Come on now. I want to see you guys in your best behavior. But yeah, we were just talking about gamifying tasks to get them done. And I was getting into talking about reading and writing. I keep meaning to touch on this topic, but I haven't really properly got into it. So, where do we start with writing? We can go all the way back, right? We can go all the way back. So when I was a tween, I obsessively journal kept through all of my teenage years. I have all of them still. I shouldn't. It's a waste of space, and it fucking sucks to have to carry boxes full of notebooks to every single place you move to. It's always like, and here it is, carrying my heaviest box of books, the ancient scrolls that I just have, that I'm not going to go back and check. That's just me, 13 years old, talking about how, like, I feel weird, and like I don't understand the world, and everything's scary. Ooh. I wouldn't even have the energy to digitalize them. I don't even know if it'd be worth it. The sacred text. But I don't know. I think young teen who didn't have lots of friends and was possibly bullied segues to, I have feelings that I don't want to talk to anyone about because I'm awkward and spend most of my time in my room. I'm just going to write them down. That kind of thing. Is why I was obsessive journaler as like a young teen. But weirdly enough, actually, I'll say, after I moved out of home, my late teens, early 20s, I completely fell off journaling for quite a few years. I had one journal, but I would maybe put a page in once in a blue moon. Maybe once in a blue moon when I was feeling pretty scatterbrained or rough or whatever. Going into full-time study, I was so busy with life, spending all day either at the studio. I basically would wake up, hang out with my housemates, spend all day in the studio, spend all day at study, you'd knock off, you'd do stuff with housemates, or do events or work gallery job or whatever, and then I get back to share house and I'd be so tired I'd cook dinner and fall asleep. Like I never had any, I completely fell off the routine or desire or time or having the energy to write down my thoughts. Also probably didn't need to as much because so much was going on around me. I didn't really have much time to just like sit down and think, man. It was just constant new experiences, new things, new people, blah 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 blah. So I completely fell off the routine of writing. But totally and shockingly, because what I actually thought for a period when I was not writing throughout being a student, I was like, oh, maybe it's because it was like a juvenile thing. Maybe it was like a thing I did when I was a teenager, because I was like a young, awkward, acne-filled adolescent, you know? I started thinking like, oh, maybe journal keeping was like just like a phase I had when I was a teenager, you know? It feels like a very teenage thing to keep a journal, you know? My secrets, my book full of secrets where I talk about my crush on my friends, and oh my god, that one chick with the curly hair, she's so cute, but she's part of the mean girls group, and the mean girls are mean to me, and ooh, you know? Why is that one boy in the class who's mean to me, who I hate? I fucking hate him. I hate him so much. It's not like my hatred for him is a manifestation of the fact that I despise the fact that I'm interested in him. Toxic Yuri. You know, like, you know, all those things. Why is it that I hate this guy's guts so fucking much? It's got nothing to do with me being angry about the fact that my brain has an irrational attraction. Or whatever. I started recently writing again. Reading as well. Haven't sat down as much reading lately. Used to a lot. What is tsundere, man? Is that like the definition of tsundere? Is that really what the definition of tsundere is? Hasn't tsundere kind of been bastardized a little bit in anime? Like what is actual tsundere is a bit different than what it was originally. Isn't the original concept of tsundere is the tsundere hates you because she can't express that she actually likes you, but then she softens over time as she better understands her feelings for you, until by the end of it she's no longer angry, she's now like affectionate. Whereas like contemporary tsundere is like the flip-flopping, I hate you, no I love you, I hate you, no I love you, Bucka, no I hate you, no I love you, and it's because the author doesn't want to let the whole like she's mean to me thing go, which kind of defeats it, because it's like, well, at what point does it shift? What point does it shift? And it's kind of like constant, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I love you. But like that doesn't make sense, right? It's the transform of sun to dere. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. From sun to dere. I guess I can say that like I completely so you're just sun? I don't know what I am anymore, man. I don't know what I am nowadays or then or what have you. Character growth gets old. Yeah, I think nowadays they're kind of they can't leave the sun from the dere, and therefore the tsundere thing is a constant flip flop. I'm a bongus dere. That is true. I'm a baka dere. I'm just an idiot, man. I'm just a fool on the internet on a Sunday morning, drinking my coffee, having a chat. Developing a character gradually at times still happens, but it's real work. I guess it's because of Gap My Way. They want to prolong the sun page as much as possible. I think that's what it is. It's this like desire to prolong the sun phase, and it gets like tedious and exhausting, and like she should have probably worked it out. I think these characters should have worked it out by this point, guys. It's just all meaningless tropes. Hidaki Anno make a whole anime series about his contempt for this kind of stuff. Hey, he did. Faizan, good morning. Hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Welcome to the Jets cast. We're chatting about stuff. We were just talking about, journaling. So, journaling, blah, 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 blah. Reflectionally joking about how cringe I was as a teenager. So I thought it was like an adolescent thing. But about like middle of last year. And is this possibly related to a lot of like my quarter life crisis bullshit? Maybe, if we're being self-aware. It's middle of last year, even like early middle last year, I just started journaling. Wait, it's actual snowfall where you are, Derpy? The usual cozy night? Wait, for how many of you bros is it still snowing? I hope the Jets Sunday morning cast is, perfect for this cold seasonal weather for you all. It's actually going to be really hot next week. In relation to me needing to take time off next week, I'm going to try to maybe take some time in the week in my schedule to try and escape the heat, because it's going to be upwards of almost 40 degrees next week, and I don't know what the plan is yet. If I'll do stuff with fam, if I'll do stuff around the place, I think I'm going to have to take, because I just don't know if on those really hot days I'm going to be able to stream and have like the mental capacity to be good at it. As you guys know, Australians are notoriously just like the worst when streaming on like 40-degree days. With some snacks, I'll be lurking. Have fun, rest of the stream. Shiva, enjoy your snacks, and thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. I hope your streams have been doing well. I gotta go check out more than them in the future. Snowed today. Scraped the ice on top of my car. God, that sounds pretty damn cozy, man. On Monday, it's going to reach 38 degrees. I get your pain. Yeah, next week, middle start next week's going to be really bad. In fact, almost the entirety of next week's going to be really awful. So we'll see. We'll see if I actually survive. Too dry where I am from snow again. This is like minus 10 degrees Celsius next 2 months. Ooh. Doesn't melt in the puddle. I'll try not to. We'll see. Anyway, so back to journaling. Started journaling again, and I've basically, when I started doing it, I was like, I'll just do this when I need to, and now I've basically been consistent with like daily writing for the last like 3 months, which is crazy because I did not make this like a thing which I was going to do daily. I just now do it daily, and I'm like, I don't know when I started doing it daily. I don't know when to stop, but it's just like I just feel the urge to just like even a little paragraph, just write some bullshit, and it's often just things like today was stream, and this is how brain was feeling about it. Felt good, man. Feels good, man. She's a writer. She's a goddamn modern day Mozart. No, that's the wrong one. Modern day Da Vinci. No, that's the wrong one. Modern day Shakespeare. I think journaling helps you be more eloquent with your thoughts too, so it helps for streaming, not even just mentally. Honestly, I think this Sunday morning stream concept has come from me starting to write again more. Modern day Alan Wake. She's so goddamn Alan woke, bros. I think this concept of the Sunday morning streams has grown from me writing more and feeling this desire to just kind of have a space on stream to chat about projects, ideas, plans. We've ended up in the past having so many of like small conversations like this at the start of random fucking streams. Like it'll be the start of a goddamn Voice of the Void Part 8 stream, and we're like, hey, let's talk about the concept of project planning and the struggles of starting a new artistic venture. I'm like, why are we talking about this as sort of a random goddamn a Devil May Cry stream, a random stalker stream? This needs its own little spot. This needs its own little segment, and here we are, boys. Here we are. And that's how it works. Just can't help it. And to get back into journaling too, I don't know if journaling would be for everybody. I think note-taking and to-do lists and project planning is a very healthy thing for a lot of people. But I will say that for me, just writing a few words down has been super cathartic, and I've enjoyed getting back into it a lot. I really have. It's like, it's also done a lot of good for me in the times where I'm like, randomly scrolling Twitter and hating the world. I can't do that anymore, because instead of randomly scrolling Twitter, I could just drink my coffee and write down a few words instead of like drink my coffee and look at the glowing screen full of hatred. I'm a wannabe writer myself. I'm something a wannabe writer myself. I don't think I would ever consider myself a writer. I don't know what I would write about. Like, I don't, like, if I was going to, like, actually write something, I've got no idea what I would write about. When I was really young, I used to write, like, non-fictions and stories and little funny scripts of movies that would never be made, because why the hell not? You know, you're just putting down things and character conversations and writing dialogue because it's fun. It's fun to make up imaginary dialogue between imaginary characters and have them have zany moments that are far more witty and interesting than anything you could ever say. I got no idea what I would, if I have anything, any singular enough, interesting enough idea that would justify ever needing to publish something. Probably not. You've reached enlightenment, Jets. You've grown wise in your advanced age. I love this cozy scene mood. So what's Wyathan? Welcome, how you doing? I'm glad you're enjoying the cozy scene. I'm really enjoying enjoying this cozy scene as well. This has been incredibly satisfying. It's going to be hard to want to actually end this stream, because just sitting down and having a coffee with you all and chatting is doing a lot of good from just waking up and feeling nice this morning. Publishing crime sci-fi stories, see, that would be incredible. That'd be a lot of fun. I don't think I'm a sci-fi writer by any means or anything like that though. Maybe it would be one of those things where, like, if I was like an old lady, wouldn't that be funny? That would be fun. Like, if I become like an old, when I hit my, if I'm fortunate, if I'm lucky enough, God, if I'm lucky enough to become an old lady, if I'm lucky enough to become an old lady, it'd be nice to maybe write a little silly book or a little silly notes, a little silly idea. I say when, because we should all hope to get to be that lucky. Being old sucks. No, it's not. You freaking have spent time on this planet for long enough to make it there. Not everybody is so fortunate, man. That's a fucking blessing. I've been old since I was 15. I've been old since I was like 8. Mick, I've talked about this beforehand. I mentioned this so many times on stream beforehand, and I'll mention it again. Mech Mum has told me so many times, so regularly, Sweets, you were always just so strange and childcare and daycare. You just like, you weren't interested in what other kids were doing. You just wanted to like read and paint, and you just seemed to think all the silly stuff and all the childish stuff which wasn't interesting to you. And I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, I think I lost something because I never found like dumb childhood kid stuff funny as I wish I did. To this day, I don't like bottom humor, and I think I'm wrong for that. It's just you know, did something happen to you as a baby, possibly repressed? 5-year-old head dyed her hair black, and she was listening to the Smiths. You know, I don't know. I was wired a little fucking wrong, maybe, or right, however you want to look at it. But Mech Mum was like, you're always just a bit more, you know, a bit more observant, put together. I was like, Mum, is that a good thing? Should have I been a bit more fucking dumb? I think I should have been a bit more dumb. Now I am more stupid. I feel like I've gotten more stupid as I've gotten older. I had to become too put together at such an early age, and now I've just become an absolute fool. I am now just a blob of imbecile. More dumb, she says. Exactly. I am now a pure state of bingus. Yeah, how's Mechnies? Really good. I keep getting updates and images and videos of all the nibblings and Mech nephew. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call them. I need to work out like good names for them, because I can't keep saying Mech niece, Mech nephew, Mech mum, Mech sis, Mech bro. I can, but maybe I can come up with like a little name, because I gave Mech niece a little Miffy toy, and I gave Mech bro a little Snoopy toy. Maybe I can call them Miffy and Snoopy, because that's kind of like the toys I gave them. But I keep getting update photos and images of them, and I actually have to respond to the fam group chat today, probably when I'm getting a coffee. Give them mech numbers, like 237. Disney would be after you. Does Disney own Snoopy and Miffy? I don't think they do. Probably they do. They own everything. They own everything. Co-Pilot 1 and Co-Pilot 2. Codename Miffy. Codename Snoopy. Collectively, they could be mechlings. My mechlings. Oh my god. Yes, my mechlings, you will play. Yes, my mechlings, you will play Duke Nukem 3D on Auntie Jets' PC. Yes, you will play shoot gun game. Oh, I'm gonna corrupt those little mechlings. I am. I'm gonna be the absolute evilest aunt. I'm gonna be such an aunt in all of the ways, bringing them alcohol, booze, beverages, and teaching them about the evils of the world, teaching them swears, and make them diabolical little creatures. I will have to probably take care of Macniece later in the year, in the next few months, when the next Bubs is inevitably born. I might have to take a day or so off here and there to do baby support. Niece Erie, yeah. But I'll let you guys know when that happens. Yeah, make them play Conker's Bad Furry. That's a thing that's totally been suggested to me so many times, and I still don't know if we're gonna play it ever. Wait until they get older for the booze. No, it's the thing. You're meant to give the teething babies a little bit of brandy or something. That's like 1950s mentality. So, feed them concrete. Yeah, that works. Jean, you seem more like a type of girl versus a mwahaha. Okay, I'll be goofy aunt. I'll just be. I did say I'm not wine aunt. I'm beer aunt. I'm goofy beer aunt. Erie, don't cut them half. Well, there's gonna be a second one, so technically they are duplicating, just like Erie. They're currently rapidly duplicating. These freaking mechlings are going from mechtosis. There's so many of them now. Can't believe I'm gonna have 3 mechlings. I went from having no mechlings to having 3 mechlings. Yeah, like going through a significant point in my life, age-wise, and then like changing my entire location over the last few months, and having family members go through rapid changes has definitely made me sit and focus more on doing stuff and be a little bit less frivolous with time and the way I spend my day, and the reason why I'm totally here to spend for more hours on stream and work on more projects, because I'm like, I want to use all my time. I want to use it all. I want to use all of my time as much as I can, and to do things. To change it. I literally listened to the album the other day. I literally listened to Hunky Dory by Bowie. I spun that shit. I spun that record. It's grounding in a good way. My sister's having a second kid soon. I feel you. It's time to lock in, boys. It's time to lock in. Jets, did your mom feed you Vegemite and Wheat Bix? You fucking better believe she did. And she fed Macniece a little bit of Vegemite. I talked about it on stream. But yeah, and likewise with journaling, it's been good. It's been good to like write down all of this stuff and then work through it, and now I can like chat about it on stream with you all. And then in relation to reading, and reading goes back to I guess perspective, and the idea of like getting perspective on your art. I think reading actually is a really good way to get perspective on your process, whatever that might be. Art, projects, editing, working out, routine, job. I think reading's for me at least, but maybe that is because I am I'm a boring reader. I don't read fiction. I know, tomato time. Unless it's like I want to read Breakfast of Champions. I want to read Ernest by Oscar Wilde. Like, there are a few fiction books I want to read, this year. I have my to-read list. But the amount of books I want to read this year that are non-fiction that I have to read list are like way more. I don't know why. I really like reading non-fiction at the moment, at least. I love a biography. I love an essay. That's what I'm currently in the flow for, and I feel like that gives you get a lot of good perspectives about stuff, specifically because I'm reading art criticism essays. Like, maybe the reason why I'm getting perspectives about the creative process is the fact that I'm currently reading a lot of books that are specifically art criticism essays. Like, I finished Susan Sontag's On Photography, which is really, really good. And I have a few different books. I got What Artists Wear I want to work through. I got a few more Sontag pieces I want to read. But also like Kafka and Burroughs too. Well, yeah, I reread Metamorphosis last year. And I do want to read Junkie by Burroughs maybe this year if I can. But reading Anthony Bourdain's not biography, technically biography, Kitchen Confidential was incredible. I like non-fiction as well. Both are places for me. Yeah, I think the thing is when I do read non-fiction. Like I read the Beats, like I read Burroughs and I read Vonnegut and stuff like that. But I think the problem is I have an idea in my brain of what non-fiction is. That is the kind of books I don't want to read. Like in my brain, when I'm thinking of non-fiction, the image that pops into my head is that table when you go into Dimmicks, which is called As Seen on TikTok. And it's the bright pastel-y pink colors of all the books about, which essentially are just smut. It's just smut. It's just straight up smut. It's a lot of quote unquote book talk. It's just straight up fictional smut about like she was his one chosen alpha. He was her alpha, and in this fantasy world with the dynamic of it was that's what it is. And unfortunately, that's what I think of when I think of non-fiction. I know that that's not what non-fiction. Fiction. That's what I think of when I think of fiction novels. I know that's not what fiction is, because I have a bunch of fiction novels on my shelf. I got Kerouac, I got Burroughs, I got freaking Oscar Wilde, I got Vonnegut, I've got, all the rest of it. But I will say, when I think of fiction nowadays, unfortunately, I think about walking into Dimmicks and seeing that massive table. I'm reading As Seen on TikTok. They're thick books too. They are thick books with big text. Curiosity's got better of me and being like, what the fuck is this table? And I've picked them up and I'm like, oh, do I dare even see myself perusing this table in a library? But I'm a curious lady, okay? Curiosity has killed the Jets on multiple occasions. I've gotten so far in the world I'm currently in by just being like morbidly curious. Be it, this is possibly opening up another can of worms, which we shouldn't because the cast is probably running to its end and I have to find a conclusion to this conversation at some point. But be it me in the VTubing world, applying to different VTuber agencies, groups, things, organizations, just because of curiosity and wanting to get perspective about the world. I'm that with everything, man. I'm that with walking into Dimmicks and going on to the As Seen on TikTok table. Yeah. Naked Lunch, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If you want some light reading, Infinite Jest, Lamau. Light reading, Infinite Jest. I've read Naked Lunch and also Hitchhiker's Guide. I think I'll get to eventually. I'm not in a rush to read Hitchhiker's Guide. I think I can get around to that whenever. Hi, Quintessential. Welcome. How you doing? The text is big because the grandma eyes ain't so good no more. There's that one video that went on Twitter and it was like, in this one, he like does X, Y, and Z. That's disgusting. And then it's proceeding for the girls to like pick up and still read the book. And I'm like, I'm a different breed apparently. I'm a different breed. I'm whatever I am. I'm not that. I'm a different pedigree. Because whatever my interest in books is not whatever that is, man. But Hitchhiker's Guide is actually the best book ever written. I know, and that's why I'm not like rushing to get to it. I think I can get to it eventually. I also have a backlog. I have a backlog to get through. I have a problem. I've been to a few small bookshops recently. I made it actually an effort before I left the previous place I lived to go to my 2 favorite bookstores. I know Jet's core bullshit. I know. Just let me be. Let me be who I am, boys. I took a day trip to 2 different locations to go to 2 cafes that I really, really liked. And in the trip to the 2 cafes to get like a nice pastry and a coffee, I also went to the local bookstore, 2 different ones that I really loved. They had I won't say specifics once again for doxing reasons, but they both were small local bookstores that carried predominantly niche collections of bookstores, and I basically went into them and grabbed a couple different small paperbacks that I had been meaning to get for a while. So I do have actually there were 3 bookstores that I loved. One was specifically a used bookstore that was incredible. Just really great place to spend time and even just walk around, because they always played like really nice music, and it was always really cozy. All 3 of them, like genuinely, if I ever go back, and I will go back to that place, I would want to do like a book crawl, like store crawl, because they were just so pleasant, those 3 bookstores. So I did pick up at least like 6 books just before I moved that I need to work through. That's like the story I told on stream where I almost got like joined a cult. When I almost joined a cult, where I think I got invited to join a cult, it's when I went to the used bookstore. I went to the used bookstore and got invited to join a cult. I talked about this on the collab that Vishayan did with Zedif. I mentioned this antidote on stream. I probably shouldn't get into it because we probably should wrap up this stream very soon, actually. Yeah. The guy invited me to a bookstore down an alley that didn't have a name. So I had to go to an alley that was next to the alley to go to the non-named off-site alley in which they had a warehouse full of the largest books of philosophy. And they do philosophy readings every like Thursday or something. And I'm like, this is either this would, and they're like, we also have jazz bands that play there. I was like, this would either be the best, coolest experience of my life, or I'm literally joining a cult. And it could also be both. It could have been both. And I just didn't go. As a lonely lady, I'm not walking down the alleyway to the warehouse full of books. I think it was like a nerd speakeasy. I think it was probably very wholesome, but I just decided, in my current conditions, with not having any friends to bring with me at this current location I'm in, I'm not going alone. Says the woman who'd go alone on the New York subway. You know what? Maybe I should have taken that risk. I need to be a little bit more risk-taking. I really need a little more risk-taking. But something about the way the guy said it, my brain said, don't do this. My brain said, don't do this. Because I feel like speakeasies do have a little bit of like a cult-like vibe. Like what's the point between a speakeasy being a speakeasy and a speakeasy becoming a cult of people who sit around in a circle and read ancient philosophy, you know? Yeah, you always go back with a friend someday, unless the police shut them down. It would have been nice if I had a friend I could have brought. Not so much as a bunch of people minding their own business. Exactly, and I'm not gonna not see trains. Boys, I love trains. Come on now. It's better to be safe than sorry, of course it is. I mean, if it gets to the point with the shave all the hair off your body, at least you got an interesting story. Yeah, good point. Oh, man. don't New York subways have hidden rooms? Yeah, it's cool, right? There's like so many, because New York subways have a bunch of lines that have gotten gotten abandoned. There's like tons of abandoned, beautiful New York subways. I've looked quite into this. I've spent quite a little bit of time looking at the history of the New York subway line and watching videos about the development and history of the New York subway line and how they're installed and how like the New York subway line is actually not that deep down because they didn't have the budgets to and the means to dig deeper, and the way the ventilation system works and why you get the fog tunnels on New York and stuff, and the way they ran and things like Penn Station and all the rest of it. You know how it is, boys. We're not going to get into talking about trains on this Jet Sunday morning stream, but we will probably on a different Jet Sunday morning stream. All this to say is I'm really enjoying reading, and if I could at least maybe try and get through one book a month, maybe one book every 2 months this year, I think I would take that as an insane achievement. That might be too much pressure to put myself, because obviously things happen, projects get in the way. But that would be an insane achievement. I've already got through one book. I was talking about it beforehand, Susan Sontag's On Photography, which I've really enjoyed. I would say the later essays became a little bit repetitive, and you probably need to have a bit more of an understanding of the history of photography to enjoy the later essays. I think some of the essays were propped up purely because I knew who the photographers were. Like her essay on Diana Arbus was beautiful, but I think that was only really enjoyable to me as I'm very familiar with Diana Arbus's work, considering Diana Arbus is one of my favorite photographers, and I have seen a lot of Diana Arbus's work as part of collections beforehand, in person and like online. So hearing Sontag be critical and observant about Arbus's work was great, because I came into it knowing what her photography looks like. So when Sontag was talking about like, in Arbus's piece, young Jewish giant in his living room with his parents, I knew the exact photograph she was describing because I've seen it in person. I think the essays would have benefited from being accompanied by photographs of people who had never seen that photographer's work before. And the later essays kind of became a little bit repetitive. I think she did a good job of like succinctly describing a lot of her points in the first essay that she kind of just ended up fleshing out later on. But overall, at least the first essay, incredible. And the whole book I did enjoy reading, even if I felt like I was kind of slugging through the final 2 essays a little bit. I've always been a bit of a photography nerd. I never was. For ages in my youth, I probably could have never have named a photographer. Like when I was younger, if you asked me like, what's your favorite photographer? I was like, you can have a favorite photographer? Fuck off. It's just pictures in it. And I realized I knew nothing about photography. So I did some research into photographers, and that's why I found Man Ray and Diana Arbus, and it gave me a good perspective more so on actual photographers who've done stuff with the medium of photography. They're quite curious, quite interesting, worth your time, worth checking out. Wildlife photography is so fun. Yeah, wildlife photography is really interesting and something I haven't looked into as much as I think I should. Also, actually, one thing that Sontag kept referring back to is Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. And boys, I'm so sorry, but I have tried to read Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman 3 times now, and I've only gotten like halfway in. This year, I need to finish Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman, because the amount of American artists, essayists, authors, writers who all fucking spend 90% of their work parroting, referencing, homaging that goddamn piece by Walt Whitman. It's such like a tour de force of reference. Like it's an originator of originators when it comes to like the great American ideal, and I just need to do it. I just need to sit my ass down and read that. Maybe I should read it next after I finish what I'm currently working through. Maybe I should finally be like, Jets, sit down and finish Leaves of Grass, forehead. Quote Homer Simpson, Walt Whitman leaves with grass my ass, kicks a Walt's grave. Is there, of course, the Simpsons have referenced Walt Whitman. The Simpsons have referenced everything. God damn it. I don't know if I have a favorite, but I know I unreasonably hate Martin Parr. I don't think I've ever looked at the work of Martin Parr. I don't think I have. Anyway, boys, I've been talking for 2 hours and an hour and a half. We probably should wrap this up. We should probably end up wrapping up the first Jets Sunday morning stream. Do I want to keep talking to you all for another half hour? Another hour? Another 3 hours? Yes, I do. This has been incredibly enjoyable. This has been incredibly fun. I know I'm going too far because I've ended up talking about art essays, and I am kind of worried that I might be boring you all with this conversation. So I do apologize for getting a little bit too artsy-fartsy. Once again, take everything I say about the art world with a grain of salt. I don't say it to think that, like, you know, I'm fancy, pretentious, famous or anything. I'm just talking about the books I'm reading, the things I'm thinking, the stuff I'm doing in my life and what I'm getting to and the ideas that are throwing from my brain. So thank you so much for hanging out today and listening to me talk about those kind of dumb, not dumb to me because it made me happy. Those specific things that I've been working through. I hope it was chill. I've had a really chill morning. I'm on my final mouthful of coffee. So cheers to you. Let's sip that one here. Oh. There we go. Will this podcast have guests in the future? J5, thank you for asking. That was asked right at the start of the stream this morning. And actually that thought came to me as a shock because I had not considered the idea that maybe this Jets cast would have guests. But I will say I'm open to the idea. I'm open to the idea of in the future having people stop by the Jets cast and opening this kind of space of talking about projects, planning, what it's like, the creative process is for people. Specifically, I would love to talk to VTubers and fellow streamers about their process. I think that would be something I would love to do. I would love to talk to fellow streamers about, like, hey, how do you get started? Do you have one question I would love to ask people is I would love to ask them, like, do you have a routine? Are you methodical? Do you have a series of things you do before you start your stream? You know, those kind of questions. I would love to do that. At the moment, though, there's no plan currently. J-Code, thank you for gifting us up to Clauvio. Is that you asking me to have Clauvio on the podcast? That would be nice. That would be nice. That would be nice. I do adore Clauvio. I've been wanting to do stuff with Clauvio forever, but I think we're a bit too nervous as people. I think we're both a bit too nervous, and I think Clauvio's really cool. And I'm intimidated by how much I actually respect her as a streamer. I really am. She's really comfortable. She's kind of like my ultimate comfort streamer and has been for years. So it's kind of that intimidation because of respect, right? Jets, did you have your caffeine intake? I did. I had my 1.5 cup of coffees just here sitting and talking to all of you guys. Sorry, let me finish that point. Yes. I didn't think about it originally, but in the future I think that could be cool. I think it could be cool to have guests on Sunday mornings with Jets. For now though, for the next 2-3 next month or so of Sunday morning chats, what we are going to do is I'm going to open up conversations to you. Today, tonight, tomorrow, I'm going to put together a Google form, which will be for the Jet Sunday morning streams, in which you are encouraged, if you want to, no pressure of course, to ask questions and put forward your own little anecdotes, stories, questions that we can jump off of. They will be anonymous, so don't feel like any, if you want to sign the questions, of course you totally can, but basically there'll be like call-ins. There'll be call-ins about, call-ins about things. If you have questions about specific things, art, streaming, culture, anything like that, or you just want to share a book you've been working on or those kinds of things, please do. That will be the place to put it, and then I will choose the ones I find will be the most interesting for jumping off points, and we'll do that. for the first... Hey, Jets, first time caller, long time listener. Exactly! Exactly. If you want to do that, we're going to do that as a jumping off point. So I'll post that started next week. And then if you want to contribute that, next Sunday morning with Jets, we were going to be going through those questions and just kind of unpacking what people have to say. If you have the guest on stream, I'm a calling about the music industry. Jester, if you want to ask any questions about music and stuff, also we can talk about music. Oh, before we do go, do you want to hear my most recent music discovery, boys? I guess we can do a little Jets music corner moment. I haven't talked about music discoveries, but I listened to an album last night for the first time and I quite enjoyed it. Very Jets core. Super Jets core. Not for everybody, and I don't even know if it's that good, but it was very charming, and I put it on while I was cleaning and while I like showered and stretched and stuff. The artist who I have found recently that I thought was quite endearing and nice is Camera Obscura. I never have listened to Camera Obscura. I think this probably got into my shuffle because I was going back down my like 90s indie, 90s indie exploration, listening to more Wilco, listening to more Belle Sebastian, listening to more, Magnetic Fields recently. And then this band called Camera Obscura came into my shuffle. They're very, very cute. It's very cute. It's very cutesy 90s indie, but I had some fun with it. So that was the artist I found recently, is Camera Obscura. I'll play Camera Obscura as we do the outro conversation and we find someone to raid. I'll play them for us all in the background. But yeah, so please submit your questions next week for Sunday Mornings with Jets. Thank you all for hanging out today. Have you heard of Baba Doobie? I don't really like that stuff that much, I don't think, unfortunately. I've heard that stuff, but it's a little bit too cheesy, I'll be honest. Not my kind of thing. It's a little bit too TikTok music for me. I don't know why. It's some music you vibe with, some music you don't. I just don't. I think Baba Doobie is a bit too TikTok core for me. I prefer, if you're gonna say, in regards of bedroom pop, I think I'm a little bit more of a Chloe Morado fan than I am a Baba Doobie fan. Just like, and even then I don't really listen to much Chloe Morado that much in general. Sorry, let me wrap this up. Sorry guys, I keep talking when I'm trying to wrap up this stream. Please submit your stuff when that goes live in the Discord. I'll post it on Twitter, Bisky, and Discord for you guys to share your inquiries. I'm looking forward to next week for another Sunday morning stream, starting up with you all 7:30, drinking coffee, talking about life. I do also want to say I love the idea of having Vishayan on the stream. I think after we do the Sunday morning streams, we might start by bringing each member of Vishayan onto the stream to talk to them about their creative process. I think that's an incredible idea. That's a really good idea, boys. And I think we'll do that in the future. But for now, let's find out who's online on the internet. Let's see if we can find something comfortable to raid. Who's online and who's doing things that are cozy. Oh, Mordecai is live. We've not said hi to Mordecai in a while. That is an Australian game dev VTuber who's really talented and cozy. Vivi is live with Fallout 3. You know what? We're gonna raid Vivi. We're gonna raid the incredible Vivi. She raided just the other day to say hello while I'd been away. And Vivi is comfy energy. So we're gonna go raid the incredible Vividly Vivi. She is also actually someone I would love to have on the Sunday morning streams in the future if we do have guests. So let's be lovely to Vivi. Let's do what's the raid message? Let's say good morning. Good morning, Vivi, maybe? Good morning, Vivi, with like a Jet's heart for the raid message. We're gonna have to think about, maybe we'll do that. We'll do like, where's the Jet's heart? Good morning, Vivi, as the raid message. Good morning, Vivi. And let's be lovely to her. I know you guys will be. I know you will be. Take care. So weird. So weird ending a stream only after 2 hours. Who am I? This was nice. I'm gonna go get some stuff done around my facility, boys. I'm gonna be productive, and I will schedule a drop tonight as well. So we'll find out how much I'm streaming next week. Schedule will be live soon. Let's listen to some Camera Obscura and Oop! There we go. Thank you guys for hanging out. Be so nice to the VVs. Have an amazing, a wonderful, a lovely, brilliant. Thank you for hanging out with me today. This has been really lovely. And I'm genuinely looking forward to the next Sunday morning stream. Please submit those questions. That's going to be really cool. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Good morning to you all. Good morning. What else should I say? Till next Sunday. I will see if I'm going to be live on Monday, actually. I might be live tomorrow. Cling. depending on how much energy I have. But that's the plan at the moment, is being live tomorrow. Don't burn out. But it's something like this, like something poetic here, like the star that burns most brightest seen from the furthest away. Or bye everybody. Stay healthy, stay